Ay, this ain't a drill. Only time I plan is on the field. And when I'm on the field, no, I got mad skills. And you know we bout to eat this a fast meal. Y'all gotta pay for this heat like a gas bill. We keep on coming back, so yeah, they mad still. 716 make them pay me some bad bills. Red, white, and blue like Superman, so you know we eating at the Super Bowl. Kill the competition, set up the funeral. Josh Allen catching all the shots you go for. We callin' blitz. Ready to start, we ain't calling no quits. I'm the #1 draft pick. A lot of y'all talk, but I ain't hearing it. Only listen to Keyshawn and they talk about the Bills dominating on the field. All our players got them skills. Buffalo don't make a kill when we talk about the Bills dominating on the field, and our players got them skills. Buffalo won't make a kill.
What's going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I am your co-host Aramis.
This is Key. He told me I had to bring it down before this show. I was a little too amped. No, he really didn't, but I just felt like it's the thing to do.
Like, wait a second.
I get amped later in the show. I don't start it off on high wires.
Wait, why are you so amped today?
I don't know.
Really?
I have no idea.
Natural energy.
I had a cold brew.
Oh, there it is. That'll do it. That'll do it. Yeah. You on your Babbage system today.
Let's go.
Right, exactly. Exactly. It's the last day of the week for you, ain't it? It's Friday?
Yeah.
There you go.
I made it through another tumultuous week.
Okay. Well,
another tumultuous
so
week.
did the Bills. They came in on Tuesday. They made it all the way through.
They did.
Now it's Friday. Okay. I got some interesting things to get into
that I want to
bring up.
Interesting things from you. I got stuff, man.
We got producer cues?
We got producer cues.
Yo, we haven't had producer cues in forever. Producer, what do you have for us today?
So, pretty sure you guys are aware. This was like 3 hours ago. So, Jake Hader has skin cancer. The quarterback of the Saints. He has skin cancer.
Jack who?
Oh, Jack.
Jack
Was it Jack Campbell, the linebacker?
Jack Campbell?
No, the quarterback.
He said for the Saints.
Oh,
For the Saints.
Yeah, for the Saints.
Oh, he must be a backup quarterback or something.
He got skin cancer.
that's why McDermott wears a bucket hat and the sleeves all the time.
Yeah.
Because he
To
runs his
avoid
family.
that kind of
He's afraid of getting skin cancer. I mean,
You ready?
nah. Seriously, yeah, that's true.
Tyrod Taylor.
Okay, I like this. Tyrod Taylor. This is what's gonna set me up. I know it. He's giggling. He
I'm
giddy.
still waiting to hear a cue in the house.
This is gonna be the cue right here.
Okay. What
you
about
got?
Tyrod Taylor?
It's better than Josh Allen.
Who said that? Oh, you saying that? Oh, he trying to incite a riot.
Right.
He trying to incite a riot.
That's what it is.
I ain't gonna let him have that.
He saw the
Tyrod
flames in
Taylor
the
is
thumbnail
better
and
than
got
Josh
inspired. Right. That's what it is. That's
That was
exactly what it
lovely.
is.
See, he tried to get me set up.
Yeah.
I'll get him later.
He saw the energy. He was like, I
I'm
got
gonna bring
something
that
for
down.
today.
Some.
Right.
I
That's
don't
it.
like glee on that man's
That's
face
it.
at all. He got to be glee-less.
So how? What do you want to do? You want to start with stuff we heard like usual?
I got stuff. You got stuff, or you have thoughts, or what is your stuff?
I got thoughts.
This is gonna be a show bag.
Yeah.
It's gonna be just a mismatch, a potluck of just information just spewing off left and right.
And it's all so juicy and so good too. I can't wait to get through it.
I'm here for it.
Let's start with stuff.
Okay. This is actually residual stuff.
Residual stuff. Okay.
I had stuff on Monday, but this is carryover
we didn't
stuff.
get through much at all.
Nah, we didn't even start with stuff on that. You see what happens when we do that. Right. NFL quarterback Caleb Williams reportedly asked to receive compensation as an LLC before he signs his $39 million contract.
Okay.
My first line, you see what it says? The first bullet?
Why?
Mother F this. It's getting out of hand.
Why is it getting out of hand?
This Caleb, what else does he want? What else does he want?
What's wrong with wanting to get paid as a business?
What else you're already a sole proprietor. What else does he want?
Right.
And why would you want to be paid as a business? Okay, explain that to me.
Right. So if when you get an LLC, legally it protects you from being sued
that I know.
personally. Right. Well, I mean that most people, that's why they go get an LLC. So there's other benefits that come with it. Like
Right.
there's so if he has children, it allows him to the ability to put his children on the payroll and set up college funds and stuff for them through the business, right? That all of that stuff would be tax free for his children if he were to do that. You know what I mean? So like there's just certain advantages that you have to having an LLC. So here's the other part too, which is kind of interesting. if he doesn't come through for the team, and they decide to, like, if he decides to walk away, right, and stop playing football tomorrow, the team could sue him for the guaranteed money that they already paid him. Right. But if he's an LLC, he could just bankrupt his business and he's fine. He can walk away with the money and be fine. So I mean, there's advantages to it.
That just sounds ridiculous. They're not gonna go for that.
No, well, I mean, they would be silly to do that, but then again, they're the freaking Bears. What choice do they have?
They not going for that. I mean, it ain't no way. I mean, this is the same quarterback. Corey Davis caught a pass and said, "Oh hell no, this is the same dude." Like, yeah, nah.
Who was it? Who was it that was getting paid in Bitcoin? There was
OBJ.
No, it wasn't just him. It was somebody else.
It was him, and that's the most notable one because he lost a lot of money in that.
No, but there was a lineman that was getting paid in Bitcoin. Was it
I'll look it up, but I know OBJ for sure.
Was it the tackle for the Jets?
Who?
Becton?
Becton?
Yeah, was it? No, I don't think
so.
It was some lineman like that was, he wanted to get paid in Bitcoin, which at the time when he asked, it was a fire. Actually, it might have been a lineman for the Jaguars.
NFL players getting paid in Bitcoin. Let's see. Odell Beckham. He got his $750,000 salary in Bitcoin. Was it a mistake? What athletes were paid in Bitcoin? Lionel Messi, Mike Tyson, Aaron Rodgers, Cade Cunningham, Shohei Ohtani.
Only one of those guys in the NFL. But yeah, anyway, we don't need to get too deep into that. But basically, at the time when this lineman was getting paid in Bitcoin is kind of like right after the boom from COVID, because cryptocurrencies around COVID just skyrocketed out of control, right? And that was around the time where he got his contract and he asked to be paid in Bitcoin. The Jaguars obliged. So he made a lot more money.
I would have did that too. Well, he made a lot more money if he saved it, because it hit hard after that. Because OBJ lost a lot of money when he did that.
Right.
A lot. So, I mean, if he saved it, which I doubt he did, because at least the majority of it, because, what was he going to get paid with? Was he going to pay his stuff off with? His Lambos and his tattoos. His gambling issue. I didn't say that on this show.
Ooh, he has a gambling issue?
Well, he got sanctioned at LSU for handing out money in the locker room a couple of times. So he got banned from their locker room because they caught him on camera handing out money.
I mean, what?
That's against the rules. You can't. You're a booster. At that time, there was no NILs. You can't play players.
Oh.
Yeah. So he was when they won the championship. They saw him handing off like he had snagged somebody up, had money in his hand like this. Nope.
You can't do anything nowadays without getting caught.
Well, when you're dumb enough to do it out on TV after your team on the field where your team is celebrating doing this stuff, whatever. But let's see what else we have. Okay, so this is probably the only serious thing I have today. Vikings will pay the remainder of the $827,000 signing bonus on Jackson's rookie deal. This will be Khyree Jackson, the late cornerback who passed in the car accident a week or two ago.
Okay.
They're going to pay the remainder of his rookie contract to his estate, and they'll cover a significant portion of the expenses for his funeral, which was this past Friday, or no, today.
Okay.
So he's late the rest of the day. Adolfo Menso, their Kevin O'Connell, their coach, and other staff and coaches are traveling to be at the funeral. The Vikings will announce that they'll be holding a celebration of Jackson's life in Minnesota, which details will come at a later date. Throughout the season, the Vikings will be wearing a helmet decals bearing the initials KJ. Coaches will have the initials on lapel pins. Jackson's number 31 will go unused this season. His locker at TCO Performance Center will remain visible and untouched. So that's decent. That's
okay.
decent.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, there very, very few organizations are able to do what NFL organizations can do for a player. There's just so much, and I think it's a great gesture by the team. So
UB even still does it with Solomon Jackson, who passed away, I think about 6 years ago in practice. They still, like Tre'Davious White wearing 19, the player of the game wears 41, and they still have 41 on the side of the. It's barely visible anymore because they painted over so much, but it's still on the sideline there. His parents were coming to games a lot, and they used to honor him all the time on the field. So, when there's a family situation, especially in this Khyree Jackson's case, even if you don't know him for a long period of time, it's leave a lasting memory, a lasting impression on people. So, for people that are out there are watching the show, make sure that anytime you interact with anybody, even if it's a small interaction, it may go on and impact them for the rest of their life. So, just make sure you leave your legacy in however you can.
Yeah. Well said. Well said.
So not to be insensitive and not to bring the show down, we'll bring it back up.
Yeah.
So we got McDermott will be splitting D calls with Babbage in the training camp, which we knew, and McDermott said that. So we speculated on it, and now it has occurred.
Did you hear what he said after that though?
I didn't listen to much of any press conferences, honestly.
So I'll paraphrase,
Mm-hmm.
right? When he was asked about, if he decided on calling plays, he said, basically he's not gonna disclose that right now, but like you said, he's gonna split calls during training camp. But then he started talking about how it's around this time where play callers and coaches start to knock the rust off. Mm-hmm. And as soon as he said that, I just rolled my eyes. I'm like, this dude is gonna call plays this year.
Oh yeah,
it's that his MO is making people earn their stripes. Mm-hmm. And this is a first-year defensive coordinator in Bobby Babbage. But what's frustrating about all this is Babbage has been with Sean for 10 years. The man has been around Sean for a decade. Mm-hmm. And at this point, where you've basically given him the job, because you didn't really look around the way you could have. You really didn't. You didn't do the same thing with Joe Brady either. You just kind of I'll peek over the counter a little bit. Nobody there. Okay, no, I'm done. Like, this dude has been with you through everything, mm-hmm. including the last 6 years. And you can't give him a shot at calling plays. You can't take a step back. You have to control so much about this situation that it is mandatory for you to not only hide the fact that you've already decided that you're going to do that, but then to justify it in your mind, knowing what I know about Sean, that he's not quite ready yet, right? And I'll give you a case in point. In the same press conference, Sean talked about how, the young players, they're I forget exactly how he said it, so I'll just paraphrase. But basically, he was saying how the players are working towards and need to master their responsibilities, or whatever skill sets they're supposed to develop. Like the mindset behind saying that the team or the player needs to master their knowledge of the scheme and their knowledge of what they would be doing within the scheme speaks to, I'm not putting anybody on that field who isn't polished. Whoever I put on that field is going to be polished in my mind, or close enough mm-hmm. to polished in my mind where, because of my standards, I don't have to worry about it.
Right.
So that almost completely negates most rookies from starting for his team, most young players from being depended on.
Almost all.
Right? Well, it's the same thing for coaches now, obviously, because here's Bobby, who's done nothing but prove himself from position to position to position, from position group to position group to position group, and now here the opportunity is given to him. It's given to him. You gave him the job. Mm-hmm. Let the man coach.
I mean, honestly, I knew McDermott was going to call it. I didn't even need the charade. I was good with him calling plays, and I'm good with Bobby Babbage doing what he does for now. If you thought there was a shot at him actually getting the play call duties the first year, then yeah, I get where you are. But I never thought for a second.
Well, no, it's right, and I'm with you because I didn't think I thought the same exact thing when Sal asked him back in June. You know what I mean? So I get that. I think the frustration for me is just in the charade. It's like why do you feel that the charade is necessary when you can just say no comment? You don't have to answer with the BS answer that you feed us. You know what I mean?
I think, well, you could go as far as to say I think that McDermott when he said that was trying to give Babbage some credit. He could have said, "No, I'm definitely calling plays," and ended it all in the beginning. You say no comment, something comes up and they'll ask and ask. You got to nip it in the bud. So I think when he first answered it and he said, "You can pocket that question, because we're not going to even address it until training camp." Well, just like when I'll tell the story. We're all family. Just like when I was 26 years old, you were around, and T said, "Well, when we're gonna have a kid?" 30. Fine. I'm 26. You're not gonna remember that. I turned 29. What'd she say? You'd be 30 next year. I said, God, I got to pay the piper. So I held it off for another year. But, at the same time, it's like, if you say you're going to pocket it and hope they forget, somebody's going to remember. Yeah. And, and for him, I think, I really do honestly think that McDermott, for all his warts, he does have some qualities about him that he cares about certain people. And I think Babbage, if he's been around and he lasted through, I guess, where'd he come from? He came from Carolina too, or was he in Carolina as well? Babbage?
Yeah. Everywhere that Sean has been, and Babbage has been.
Oh, he's been with. Okay, so yeah, so I mean, if he stands the test of time through all that, and all these other coaches are going, and the players love Babbage, and he's still here, unlike Chad Hall. There's some credence to that, and that's got to be his man. So he doesn't want to make him look bad by saying, you're a paper tiger. You're a defensive coordinator, name only, because that gets winning and respect goes down. So yeah. I think until something bad happens, you're not going to know who called plays. That's the way I feel.
Because then Sean is going to have to point the finger. That's a good point.
It was a joint venture. And it was like when Kansas City 13 seconds, something like that happened.
Right.
Well, I had to pull the reins back because,
Classic Sean. Roy says Babbage had other possible opportunities. I think he'll be calling the defense. If not, he probably would have gone to another team as their DC.
No, you know what? I get it. Oh, I'm sorry. Go.
No. Go ahead.
I
probably gonna say the same thing I was gonna say.
That'd be weird. But I get your point. However, I don't think so. I mean, I think there's a relationship between those two. There is an insulation. There is the players that are here that he's made relationships with, that he's staying in Buffalo. I mean,
the opportunity to win games because of Josh, that matters.
I don't know what opportunities he's had. I'm sure he did. I know he did.
Yeah.
He's got juice. I mean, you looked at the one embedded. He's got juice. Yeah. I want to go play for him. And I can't even play with the 7-year-olds at Kansas little basketball clinic with my knees falling apart. Right. I want to go out there and see what it's about. But when you have a rapport with these guys and you see, you have another influx, especially if he likes to develop people. This defense is a ball of clay.
Right.
For the most part, outside of Vaughn, Milano, and Rasul Douglas, everybody else is, 25 or so?
Yeah.
Daquan Jones is 32. But for the most part, the notable players are all young.
Right.
And that'd be another feather in his cap. And that's something that some guys love the challenge of having the new guys, having developmental guys, Ulafascio, even Khyree Elam, Benfors. Now, I was going to say the secondary, but I can't say that yet because we only have one back there. But, so I don't know. I would like to see what you got to say because I know you were going to hit it a little better than I did. But
well, Roy says, "Damn it, don't argue with me."
I started off by saying, I agree. I see your point. I clearly started off. It was a criticism sandwich.
Sorry, that was too funny. It's too good.
I didn't mean to. I said something nice, and I critiqued it, and I said something nice again.
No, I mean, I think the sentiment is the same. I mean, honestly, I do think a lot of the reason he stayed has to do with relationship, and I think it's more so relationship to Sean and the fact that they've worked together for so long. Mm-hmm. But here's the other part that I think is interesting. Brady and Babbage are very similar in the sense that they both bring a level of energy to those sides of the ball that wasn't there before. But in order to bring that kind of energy, you have to have a belief in what you're doing that allows you to continue to produce that energy. Because over a while, anybody it's like if I just started a job. I love it. I'm excited. I wake up early. I'm going to work, but after a while, it's like you you don't really believe in the company values.
Right.
You really liked the pay, you liked the new people, the new experiences, and all that kind of stuff. And over time, it just wears on you, and then you get tired of it, right? We all go through it, but to this point, Brady's been here since 2 years ago, right? And so, or was it 2 years ago or last year? I think it was
last year.
Yeah, this is last year. So he's been here since last year. Babbage has been here much longer than that. So they are already ingratiated and ingrained into the culture that Sean is trying to instill here, right? So that, to me, I think is probably the primary reason why they're in the positions they're in. But more so for Babbage, he believes in what Sean is doing, which allows him to continue to bring that energy, which I think is a big part of the reason why he chose to stay. If he didn't believe in what Sean was doing, then yeah, it'd be easy to just be like, you know what, Sean, we've been together forever. I love you, but these opportunities out here just look too good, man. So.
And I think, I don't know what the title of the show is, so let me know if I need to shut up. But I think,
do you really want to know? Fooled again.
Well, I know what it is, but I don't know what it is. See, that's the beautiful thing about this show. I walk in here late as usual, guys. Let me tell you how this works. I get off from work. I get in my car and I right on in here. They already got it set up. He's waiting on me. He's over there chilling, and I'm like, oh, snap. First things first, full disclosure. I got to hit the room because I'm not going to make it 2 hours off of this without, emptying the levee a little bit. But, but I digress. When I see the title, usually I don't even know what it's about. Or, I'll see it and I'll just be like, I'll wing it. So this time I'm going to wing it. You tell me if I need to chill out.
Well, the title is, Where Are Our Superstars Coming From?
Okay. All right. I might be safe then. Because going on to what you said about the juice, watching the embeddeds, and I can't wait. Anybody that's going to the training camp on Monday, I will be there Monday morning. I'm the big guy that's going to be in the stands looking like I'm tired and got the little guy that looks like the big guy. Anyway.
Laura said, damn, how many jobs Key got?
2. Oh, I got 2 jobs. Yeah. I work 8 to 5:30, 8 to 5, and then 8 to 5:30, and then I do this or go to the gym or go to Ken's little clinics. Then go to my job 8:30, 9 o'clock to whenever.
So basically you have 4 jobs.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So when you mentioned the juice with Babbage and Brady, it just felt different. This year feels different. And I'm not saying it feels like this is the Super Bowl year.
Yeah.
I'm not saying this feels like a bad year. It's just the training camp, it just feels different. There's a different tone to it. It's a youth movement. With I know I was a Frazier fan, but no Frazier, no overlords of McDermott. These are young guys that bring in a new dynamic. There's a new dynamic that these players are playing with. If you're talking about Kincaid, I don't know if anybody watched Embedded, but it was hilarious. Kincaid is a funny dude, and what did they call him? Kiwiwi? They kept calling him Kiwiwi or whatever. Yeah.
Why?
Kincaid, I don't know. I guess it's better than dude. I don't know.
Kincaid Wee?
No, Kiwiwi.
Kiwiwi.
Somebody kept saying Kiwiwi. They kept saying that. It was weird, but hey. But then you're talking about there was a clip. Did you watch Embedded?
No.
There was a clip where Sean McDermott comes over to Terrell Bernard and they're doing their stretches. And McDermott's there and he's talking and he mentions something about to Cole Bishop, who was right next to Terrell Bernard stretch, and he says something like, did you play against Baylor last year? He was like, yeah, it was my best game. Terrell Bernard's like, what? He was like, I wasn't there, so I can't verify that. And Bishop didn't know. He was like, wait, you went to Baylor? He was like, yeah, I went to Baylor. Oh, I didn't mean, because he didn't know. And Terrell Bernard was like visibly getting mad. McDermott was like, I didn't mean to rile you up. I was just, because I'm like, yo. But it's a new attitude about it. And they said McDermott wants them to celebrate when they make a big play. He said he says
Yeah, I know.
Celebrate. I know you don't, but the thing is
so
this.
annoying.
Huh?
I said that even that's so annoying because I heard that they talked about that in the press conferences too. Like Brady is talking about like that's something that they coach the players to do. Like even last year, he said before the Jets game, the offensive line was exhausted from running to go cheer at any time they scored a touchdown in practice.
They better get going. They better get their conditioning up.
Listen,
do some straightening. But no, the thing about that is, I didn't need some of the Cincinnati celebrations. Some of the dumb ones where like it happens way down. You got to wait 5 minutes for them to get all the way down there to lay in front of the camera for no reason because you had a breakup.
Right.
I don't care about that.
That's what helps them build culture, is instilling these principles into the players so that they all bond properly enough to be able to execute whatever the team needs them to execute on the field.
I wish I would have been there when they said
hogwash.
What they said was Justin sort of threw the ball into the forest after scoring a touchdown. You saw Keon Coleman dancing when he caught a ball or whatever. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's when you see James Cook going down and Josh Allen doing the jump bump, whatever you want to call it, it just feels different to me. It just feels like what was the guy's name? I should know it from the Giants. A while ago, old dude. What was his name? The one that fined Mike Strahan like for being 15 minutes for practice. Film.
Oh gosh, what is his name?
Exactly.
The one that won the Super Bowls with him, right?
Yeah.
Tom Coughlin.
Coughlin. Yep, Coughlin. I mean, it just felt like it was so removed from that kind of style. I know there's structure. I know there's still rigidness. I know that, but it's like with Babbage and Brady, you just can't help. You can't help it because when Ray Davis was running a route, like, wait, just let me show you something right quick. I want you to freeze him right here just for a second. And then he runs off and they're listening. It's like it's a different dynamic to it, and I know it's cheesy to say, but like for me, when I saw the team, I'm happy that they're out on the field again. I'm happy that we have a season on the horizon again. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it's like it's just fun to see outside of the goal of winning. It's just fun to see these guys bond in Buffalo colors. It's fun to see them at St. John's Fish. It's fun to see them in the locker room interacting. Even at the Micah Hyde baseball, the softball game. It was fun the banter. Kincaid talking about, I might not be able to hit the ball. I don't know. And he missed the first one, and everybody's laughing at him. But it was just friendly banter. And that's just something that I don't know. It's because I work a lot and I don't have the time to do that kind of stuff. Me, you, and Mel get together and go do crazy stuff.
Right.
But you live vicariously through it, and you see it, and you're like, all right, cool. These are humans, which I knew already because I interact with them. But it just brings another level to it for me.
Roy says, I want to see them celebrate when they F up that stupid KC ring around the Rosie BS. Yes.
Yo, I saw that.
Yo,
I was like, what?
If I was ever in a game and somebody did some stuff like that to me, I'm getting a flag thrown on me. Period. I'm just jumping in and breaking up the ring around the Rosie. I don't care. Yeah. I don't care.
We did that in high school.
The ring around the Rosie?
No, we broke it up.
Oh.
We henceforth had to be escorted in and out of their gym, and they had to be escorted in and out of ours. We couldn't change in their gym either after that. That's why I'm not going to say what school it is, but if you know what school I went to in 98 to 2002, you would know exactly what I'm talking about because it was bad. I went to a suburban high school. We had cops all over the place, and it was not a Buffalo school we were playing against. But
that makes a lot more sense. Laura says there's power and positive energy, even if it's only training camp. I can't hate on it. See,
why would you? But go ahead.
Right.
No, not you.
That's a good question. That's a good question, and that's kind of what I wanted to, because I know like right now it seems like I'm ready to pounce on these dudes, and I am, but it's not because of the positive energy. It's because of the. I don't like when you smile in my face and talk out the other side of your neck at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, just be real. You know what I mean? Like, I can take it.
Is this about coaching or?
Well, it's more about what they say in the press conferences, right?
Well, that's what I'm getting at. Like, you're talking about from front office or players themselves?
Well, if you see the thumbnail, it's coming from the three major people that we're focusing on right now.
Who's the third one? Pagula?
It's
Pagula?
Brady, Bean, and Sean.
Brady?
Joe Brady.
Brady? Wow.
Yeah, so
do
we'll get to that in a few.
Okay, yeah,
Let's get through stuff.
I'm intrigued. See, I don't know what this is either. I'm like, what do you do?
Yeah,
I'm like this.
It's very frustrating. It's very frustrating. So, but it's not hating on the positive energy. It's just the positive energy that's being displayed seems to be genuine from an inside standpoint, but disingenuine in the way that it's being displayed. You get what I mean? Like it's okay if I'm happy about the prospects of the team, but it's not okay if I'm telling you that the reason I'm happy is a BS reason.
Okay.
You get what I mean? Like that's kind of where I'm coming from. So yes, Roy, another cliffhanger. I'm sorry.
Roy, I'm with you. I'm with you. This is not a drill. I have no idea what I'm in. I want to jump in, but I'm not yet.
Listen. Sometimes you gotta build a little bit of anticipation. You can't just. I'm gonna just say it. You can't just bust right away. You got to build up. You know what I'm saying? You got to let it build up a little bit. You got to, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
Right? You can't just let it out right away. Like
you got to walk away in shame. Yeah.
Exactly. That's all I'm saying. You got to let it build up. You all right?
He was stressed out.
You not all right?
He was so stressed out.
What's going on?
Keep it going.
Bro. Press the button.
He's like, keep it going. He's like, carry on, sir.
Right. Hit the button and then you can continue. So anyway, yeah, back to stuff we heard.
All right. So my guy decides to double down on me.
Who?
Ho, Mr. Foots himself.
Yes. You know, he got more than just him doing it now, right?
Not even that. He's doubling down. Now he's wearing Hoochie Daddy shorts too with it.
Oh, Junie!
Yeah.
Junie is the Hoochie Daddy king.
Oh.
I think he got some on right now.
Oh.
Hold on, stand up. Huh? That's okay. Just stand up real quick.
This is NSFW.
Oh yeah. Those are borderline. But he got some real Hoochie Daddies.
Oh,
like it's literally 4 fingers above the knee. Like that's Hoochie Daddy right there. Like yo, ain't no getting around that joint. Like
yeah.
It unfortunately it is the new style.
This man, I ain't gonna be on that style.
So on top of being barefoot, these dudes walking around Hoochie Daddy shorts,
practicing like that. Well, in the warm ups.
Oh,
and I think he's about to clip his toenails on one of the. I was like, yo, you going too far? Are you now? You antagonizing me?
They love this dude.
I do too.
Like they love him like they love life. Like it's like
I think I do too.
Really?
I am enthralled with this dude. Like I did not like when they signed him, but like I'm like, what did Mac do today? Every time I'm like, what? When I go on Monday, I'm like, where is Mac? I have to find Mac. The first thing I need to know is where is Mac? I'm gonna take a picture of Mac.
Like this is one of the things. This is one of the reasons why I think I asked. Was it last episode or one before? Like, could you see Mac Hollins like winning or being able to compete for the X position? Because,
I don't know enough about him, but they said in Atlanta he was a deep threat at some point in time. I don't know what quarterback he had when it had to be Matt Ryan. I'm guessing. No, he wasn't there for him. He was there with.
He might have been there towards the end of Matt Ryan.
Was he? Yeah, he was. Well, he was there. Who was there after Matt? There was just a mismatch of BS. I know they had Reader. But yeah, so no, he actually at the softball game. He played in the softball game with no shoes on. He out there doing a home run derby barefoot, and it was like, yo, you should do it too. Dalton was like, I ain't, huh? No feet.
To look at his feet.
I'm gonna take a picture of Matt.
We saw. I showed you a picture of his feet.
We did.
I mean, the eyes literally rolled to the back of your head. So I don't know if you saw it, but I
think I did, Doc. When you sent me that text message.
I think you should, just pull up on.
So you just want to see him flip out of his chair again. That's what
does.
it is. He's
when
trying to encourage
me. Text message, I was like, and I deleted the picture right away.
That was pretty funny. Because Junie walked in the house, I'm like,
yo,
Keyshawn definitely needs to see those.
This.
Come here, real quick.
Here,
click.
let me see this.
Yep. And like as soon as I send it to you, I'm like, I could hear the scream from like a mile away. We only live like a mile apart, right?
Is
Not
it that
even.
far?
I don't even think it's
I
that
don't
far.
think it's that far.
This might be like a quarter of a mile,
Right.
if that.
Yeah, I mean, if I could probably jog to your house, it's not a mile.
Yeah.
If I could jog to your house,
Yeah, you definitely could. It's so for me, it would be 1, 2. It'd be 2 blocks for me to get from. No, it'd be 3. What's it, 3 blocks? Yeah, it'd be 3 blocks for me to get to my house from my house to Parker.
okay.
Then I go up Parker towards the Dome.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
that might be
then-
about a quarter. That might be
That's
maybe
close.
between a quarter and a half.
That's super close.
It's not far at all.
Yeah.
And it was Ritter. Ritter was his quarterback.
Desmond Ridder. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
But so he wasn't there at all for
He
Matt
was,
Ryan?
he was only there for 1 year.
He
Was in Vegas. So
Oh,
he
okay,
was
that's
in,
right. His Raiders.
Yeah, he had his biggest year in Vegas the year before, 2022.
He had.
He went 57 for 690 and 4 touchdowns.
I think he was the number 2 receiver there at that time.
Should have been. Well, yeah, I hope so. Let's see. Who else do we have? I hope so. Mac Hollins, Turner, Devontae Adams. Yeah, he was number 2.
Yep.
Okay. I was getting scared. I'm like, wait a minute. No, was he number 2 or no? Because they had Renfro.
No, Renfro was their slot guy.
that year. Well, you know how I feel about Shakir.
Okay.
He's
All
like,
right.
I don't know. Like I know
Fair
he's
enough.
number 2, but I don't know where he was in the pecking order.
Yeah.
But it looks like he did do work there. So I mean, I could see it, but I think I heard, didn't he run with the ones? I think they said he ran with the ones in the first practice.
Mac did?
Yeah, I believe he ran. At least he ran some with the ones.
Yeah, it's that weird time where they're just giving everybody a shot to run at every position. But
Everybody was up in arms about DeMar Hamlin running with the ones on the first day, and I mean, fine, But you know what that tells me though? When they do that, and this is part of the mismatched potluck of the show because it just had nothing to do with what we were just talking about. But when you're talking about DeMar Hamlin getting starting reps with the in the first day of the training camp, they said it was because Mike Edwards was behind due to injury. But why was it not Cam Lewis? Why was it not, Cole Bishop, bless you, somebody like that? And the reason why I asked that is because that tells me right there they do not have anybody else that plays that roving free safety.
Oh yeah, no.
Because everybody's like, who's the pairing with Taylor Rapp? Because Taylor Rapp's got the job and he's got the job wrapped up.
Yeah.
Not pun intended, but I'll take it.
But you know what's interesting? Like, are we 100%? So bless you.
You all right over there?
I know, right? It's the second time.
He got the guns out.
Right, that's what it is. It's probably the AC. Oh,
Okay. You gotta take that Benadryl. No, don't do that yet.
yeah, no.
That thing will
don't-
be on black screen for the next
don't
2
encourage
hours.
that. So are we sure that when the Bills signed Micah Hyde, they meant for him to be a roving safety? Because think about it like this: in Carolina, their safeties didn't do anything
Right.
in that defense, and that was Sean McDermott's defense all the way. You know what I mean? In that defense in particular, both safeties looked a lot like how they look now, where they're both kind of, more box safety than anything else. Just don't get beat over just basic safeties, not playmakers, right? But that to me, that's just an interesting thought because if you signed Micah Hyde and then you were kind of surprised that he could do the rover thing, well then yeah, that kind of works great, because Poyer ended up being better in the box than most of the other stuff that he could do, you know what I mean? And it fit. But most of what was very successful for Sean in Carolina was his corner play. You know what I mean? He always had good to great corner play. James Bradbury was the one that I forgot to bring up. I mentioned Darryl Worley, but James Bradbury is the one that played for the Eagles
And that
last
explains
year.
everything. Kurt Coleman was their leading interception
Yeah.
specialist.
But Kurt,
That's why he
again,
kept coming
Kurt-
back. That's why
Kurt-
he kept bringing him back.
Right. Kurt Coleman is by no means a roving safety, a ball hawk, a playmaker. But in that defense,
I should have prefaced it by saying he only had 4 interceptions too. That's huge.
like his entire career there.
No. Well, that season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the season with McDermott. I don't know. Let's see. Was he? I remember meeting this dude. So he was in Carolina, 3 years? 2017, he had Where are we here? Keep me honest. Interception.
7 his first year,
right
4 his second year, and 0 his third year.
You got zipped. So I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough about Kurt Coleman's his skill set. I know, like you said, he's 5'11", 208. I don't know if he's fast. I don't even know if I even care to look it up. But actually, ran a 4.5.
I was gonna say think of him as very similar to a Taylor Rapp. And I think that's part of the reason they like Taylor Rapp is it probably reminds them of Kurt Coleman. Similar players.
All right.
I mean, I know you don't want to hear that, but here's the good news. You ready?
He was a Pro Bowler? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
With where Mike Edwards is and him having missed so much time because of injury, he's now pretty much at the same level as your as Bishop and DeMar Hamlin. I mean, I think that's part of the reason why DeMar Hamlin got a chance to run with the ones too is Mike Edwards is on the same plane. It's his first year here. You know what I mean? So he's technically no further ahead than than DeMar Hamlin or Cole Bishop. Mm-hmm. So I think that does increase the chances that you don't have to see Rapp and Edwards on the field at the same time.
I wish I agreed. And I mean that.
You still think they'll gift it to him?
Huh?
You still think they'll gift it to him?
Yeah, I do.
Wow.
I do. And it's tearing me apart inside. It really is. I am dying a slow death over here. Quick note. Rick 081808. I saw what you said now.
Who?
Rick 081808. Now I saw what you said now. Don't you disrespect, don't disturb this groove. Don't you do it in the comments. Not a fan? Listen to it again.
All he said was he tried it and he didn't like it.
That is mandatory. Matter of fact, that is a mandatory song. Everybody, that's homework assignment number 1. Go home and listen to it.
I gotta
and write me a page paper, huh?
I gotta pull the song up and refresh my memory now.
I mean, honestly, it's not that big of a deal. I just like to pick fun because I said that he's like, nah, not a fan. But what I am a fan of is like, yeah, hold up, wait a minute.
He tried. Don't jump on the man like that.
No, that's my guy.
He was nice enough to go search it and give it a shot.
He was one guy that did it.
He wouldn't have done that
had I not told him.
Exactly.
So I mean, you know what? That's cool. Still,
all right.
You private message me when you besmirch this song. You send that on the low. You don't send that out for everybody. It's not public consumption. I actually listened to it on way in because I had to wipe the taste of that out.
You had to wipe the what?
The taste of the besmirchal out of my mouth.
Besmirchal. He's subscribed though, right?
I don't know.
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I hope so because
that might be a sticker because if he's not subbed,
he said he liked the podcast, but he don't like my song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Laura said that song was stuck in my head hours after Key talked it up.
See?
Lindsay says, love that song. What's up, fellas? That's all you needed to hear, right?
Today is the day.
Lindsay? Oh my gosh.
So I don't know if you want to talk about this. You can say a McDermott answer if you want.
Okay.
When are we doing our fantasy draft?
Our fantasy draft. Well, so in the league that we have, the Triple P the Triple P Fantasy League.
Yeah.
It's a dynasty league.
Yep.
So we don't have to we can do I can set a date or we can just let everybody go to free agency.
Well, we're changing to defensive players, aren't we?
Yes.
Okay. Does that matter at all? Or are we just going to take out the defense and just throw that in?
I might have to change it back to a standard league in order to do that.
Okay.
I got to see if I can do that.
Did
I might be able to just change it, but
I just gave my comrades some more homework.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. Because I think I have a draft on Sunday.
For real?
Yeah, they do
starting
it
already?
real early. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I think I did last year. I did ours when I was driving back from Erie in T's car, hoping my wife.
I know, you auto picked most of your team, bro. I felt so bad for you.
Because I forgot. And I'm like, I wasn't even driving. I'm in the passenger seat, like, okay, I got him.
Right.
What did I get? Why? all my quarterbacks got hurt at the same time. Like, yo, forget it.
Yeah.
They all did. Aaron
Yeah.
Rodgers, done. And I just, you traded me somebody. Who'd you trade me? You traded me.
The quarterback.
Was it Dobbs?
Yeah, Joshua Dobbs.
That's all I had. That was my
who
best
ended
pick.
up being
Decent for
worth way
majority
more
season.
than I thought at the time. I thought, who did I have? I thought Zach Wilson was gonna end up being the starter the rest of the season.
I was glad to pick him late. I had on he's screwing up too. Okay, who else can I get? Who's the punter over here?
Yeah, Roy said I must have missed the song thing. No, you were there for it, bro.
It's okay.
You
It's
were
okay,
there.
Roy.
You were there. Lindsay said 80s R&B is my favorite genre.
Who said that?
Lindsay.
That's right. That's right. I got a list. I got some songs. Don't worry. We can talk.
Oh, you're gonna have to start creating a whole separate segment for that.
Okay.
Now. You know what I mean? Keys hits.
Hey, shit.
Roy said I never realized how long fantasy football has been around.
I know in the 90s, the 80s.
Yeah.
What boggles my mind is how they used to do it. When my uncle told me how they used to do it, I said, what?
Oh, yeah. They had to be all in one room doing it.
Well, they had newspapers. They had to go to newspapers and score based on the box scores, too.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
There wasn't no automatic scoring systems
Ain't
in
no
there
way.
for
I
that.
can't keep up with it now. I'm like, how many
Yeah.
points is that? Is that 1 or is that 0.3? What is that? I don't know.
Right.
Then when it
Right.
says I lost by 0.001, I'm like,
Yeah. Speaking of that, if anybody's interested in joining this league,
That's why I brought it up.
please let me know. Yeah.
yo,
please.
let's try it. Let's say that. What's the biggest amount of teams you can set it for?
32.
Yo, let's do it. See how many
You want to see if we can get 32?
Yo,
Oh
let's
my
do
God.
it. And see how many people join.
Yo, we literally,
It's gonna take all day.
we would all have teams full of nobodies.
That's what I'm looking
Like we literally have all teams there might be like 10 really good picks,
Right.
and the rest of them are trash.
Right, like you had to have one quarterback and the rest of
Lindsay says she's in. All right.
Hey, shit.
Let me see. How
Shoot
can I do
us,
this?
follow one of our social medias. Shoot us something.
Yeah, just follow us on Twitter or Instagram or wherever, and just
Anywhere.
Just send me your email, and then I'll send you an invite for the league.
Yo, this is gonna be up.
Oh my God, Roy said I have my own fantasies and they don't involve football.
Don't involve foots.
Oh my God. We don't even need to get into that. Listen,
not.
that genre alone is worth so much money. It's not even funny.
No.
Like, so many people are getting rich off of just feet pics.
Yo.
It's insane.
I can't pay my rent. There we go.
And the funny part is, your feet can make it too.
I know.
Like,
I know.
You know,
It's
true. Wouldn't it be so hilarious if you took one photo of your feet?
What if I was already on there and nobody knew?
Oh, that's where I was going next. It's like, wait a second. What if he was already on? What if he already had an OnlyFans? Like, somebody search the internet for a Keyshawn Foot OnlyFans.
I got a portfolio.
And pull it up, please.
I gotta be a portfolio. That's why I'm so against it, because they running my competition up. Mac Hollins, you can't do it, bro. I already got the corner marketed.
Unbelievable. What? Lindsay says somebody had to pee in the pool. No, they didn't. No, I'm fighting somebody. They pee in my pool. No.
Well, I mean, Ken's over there now, so. God
Yeah.
bless.
Oh man. Oh man.
playing.
Don't tell me that. We got a birthday party tomorrow too. We're gonna have to shock the pool again. Good Lord. Roy said, Key, that's a fetish.
It is.
It's a fetish.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's okay. You know, I mean,
yeah.
like you said, you can do a lot of things with feet.
You can do a lot of things with feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Says the person that doesn't show his ever.
I never. No. Pro Football Positional Rankings. Pro Football Focus put out a positional rankings. So the most notable Bills that I have on our list: Josh Allen, they put it 4th. James Cook 24th. And this is positional. I don't know if I think I said that, but I just want to make sure you guys remember positional, not overall. So there are 3 better quarterbacks than Josh Allen.
Oh, okay.
And so on and so forth. James Cook 24th. Running back, so that's not too bad. Dalton Kincaid 13th at tight end. Connor McGovern at 25th for guard. You guys know I'm laughing why I skipped over. Deion Dawkins 21st. Okay. Ed Oliver 22nd. Daquan Jones 24th at defensive tackle. Greg Rousseau was 25th. Matt Milano came in 4th. Taron Johnson 10th, Russell Douglas 15 in their respective positions. They only ranked up to 30. So if I didn't say a person, they weren't in the top 30.
So our boy Christian Benford
didn't make top 30.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Didn't make top 30.
Matt Milano is where he should be. Taron Johnson, I agree with that. Greg Rousseau, too high. Ed Oliver, too low.
Yeah.
Definitely don't understand that. I don't think there's 22 defensive tackles in the league better than Ed Oliver.
No. Yeah, I mean, especially what they're asking him to do at his size, and he's a good player.
Right, and same for DaQuan Jones. I mean, last year he was number
like
one.
2 at first. Yeah.
Yeah, number 2 or number 1 in
He got hurt and people usurped him, but at the same time, man, that's at nose tackle, the 32-year-old nose tackle, what is he, 32, 33? You don't lose a step when you're that. All you got to do is bench press. His pec's good. He's still the same size.
Yeah.
He looks young as ever. He's going to be fine.
Right. So, what's going on, Chris? He said, go Bills.
Yes, sir.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Roy says, James Cook, 24th ranked running back. Does that seem low?
Without being biased, I would think so. Only because he was the second highest. What was he? Second in yardage for a running back.
The total yardage, yeah.
It total yardage? Well, he was 4th in rushing yardage or something like that. 4th or 5th.
I think 6th.
Top 6 at the worst.
Yeah.
You got that. Then you have. I think he was one of the tops in yards per carry. Mm-hmm. So. I do think that's a little low for him, and that's unbiased. And I talk about Jimbo all the time and all that, but
and they said he beefed up a little bit too this season. He's a little more lean.
I've seen him.
Yeah,
and he's a little dude. He's a little dude, and that's not me saying because I'm the size I am. He's when you hear beef, you think of somebody bulky. Nah, he's still like he can do it. He's still like a little scat back.
Okay.
So that's the pro football, what they think about Buffalo at this point in time. Last thing I have for stuff, because I don't want to bore you guys to death.
Stop it.
We got our obligatory Josh is taking on more leadership role again.
Yes, this one is funny.
Not just, let's see, I think this was Brady. Not just, hey, I know where that guy is going to be there. I'm going to throw it to him in that spot. It's like, hey, guys, this is what I'm thinking. Let's stop the tape. This is where my feet are. You got to get to this spot because of that. Like I said, Brady said, just seeing that growth where I can take that kind of step back and allow him to communicate a lot more, it's been a lot of fun. On Wednesday, Sean McDermott said he noticed a ratcheting up form of Josh when it comes to the leadership of this offseason, including being proactive, getting things right with the receivers. Sometimes McDermott looks forward to seeing more of that in camp. The only other person on this team that we knew of who was going to get people's shot, get people right, get people in line, and take on that leadership role and not care what you thought about him is gone.
Yep.
How many years is a 7-year veteran who's making elite money, who's been the captain every year but the first one, going to get he's taking on more leadership? This is your freaking team.
But Key, he's doing what you wanted him to do.
But I don't need them to say, I see a difference. He's taking – this is your team. And I need to say, wait till Monday. Because if I don't see this man doing something I've never seen before, just leave it alone. He's been a leader.
Really?
Just leave it alone.
So you're saying all the talk seems disingenuous?
I think it's just repetitive because that's what people want to hear. People want to hear Josh is taking on leadership, including myself. They're placating me. Are you guys watching this show? Are you watching us? Because if you are, take notes. Anyway, I'm not saying it's disingenuous, but what I'm saying is we've seen this movie before. And they actually might think, oh, Josh is out there doing this, but at the same time, what is he supposed to do?
Right.
And I do think they think that he's taking on more leadership. I think that but you got to put it on his plate. You just got to be on his plate. You paying the man, well, somebody, was it you, Junior, that sent me that? It was, because he said my dad's going to lose his mind about Brock Purdy and how many years was it? 6 year, 305 year, $312 million contract?
For who?
Brock Purdy.
He got paid?
Not yet, but that's what somebody quoted that being his value.
5-year, $312 million?
It's like $60-something million. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, Tua got 53.
Did he get it?
Yeah, he got
they
paid
signed
today.
him?
Yeah, he got paid today.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay,
Yeah.
how many years, you know?
Oh, shoot, I got to find out.
Yeah. But, I mean, the thing is, and that goes into it again. How long is Josh going to do this? How long is Josh going to say, I'm cool with being 11, now 14?
4 years.
4 years, over 53 per 4 years?
4 years, 212, 167.1 guaranteed.
So they give him 40, okay, so 41 and change guaranteed?
Mm-hmm.
Just a little less than Josh guaranteed.
But if he's only getting 10 in incentives, they'll make sure he hits that.
Yeah, it's a little less than Josh guaranteed. But the fact remains, Josh is number 2, 3 at worst.
Right.
And you're hanging around in the realm of Tua's and Justin Herbert. Well, Justin Herbert's up there too, but these guys that are down here, Dak Prescott's up near soon, and not then what? And don't let Josh have a big season.
Excuse me. Laura says, from my understanding, they were saying Josh is leading in a different, more direct way, holding guys accountable. He seemed more laid back in past years.
I'm looking forward to Monday because on Monday I'm gonna have some stuff.
You can't wait to.
I'm gonna have a notepad. I'm not even gonna have a computer. I'm gonna have a notepad with the spiral on top. I'm gonna lick my finger every time I flip the page over too.
That's okay. You know why?
Get on 40.
Cause Lex is entered the chat.
Oh, he is entered.
He said, "What's good, bros? What up, man? How you feeling?" Listen. I think the entirety of what we're seeing now in training camp is just a carryover of everything else that we heard in all of the, post how can I say, the post-season pressers, all the exit pressers and everything like that. It's all rhetoric. It's all jibber jabber that comes from the top, handed down to and disseminated throughout all of the minions, and they all say the same thing. They all do the same thing, and the machine continues to work the way that it always has. Now, is that phrasing? Is that rhetoric that I just spewed supposed to mean that there is no hope? No, not at all, because one of the things that I truly believe in is that Josh is one of those players that in these type of situations, he rises to the occasion. We've seen him do it. And it's part of the reason why he's so damn great in the playoffs is that he rises to the occasion. So I don't think we have to worry about him allowing the team to dip, right? Now, where I think we need to be concerned is the defensive scheme is going to be the same with a decrease in talented playmakers that are on the team. Milano's coming fresh off of a serious injury, so he's not going to be the same for probably the first 6 to 10 games of the season.
I just want him to get through a whole season, honestly. That's not even funny.
That would be nice. Yeah, that would be nice. No, Roy, I don't think he's gonna write his notes in cursive. I think
don't threaten me with a good time.
Cursive is just about left the building. I'm sorry, I didn't mean for that to sound mean, man. But I
was gonna do it too.
What?
Write it in cursive too.
Oh, you were?
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Do it.
Right. I'll write it all in cursive. Yeah, I will.
You still write in cursive?
When I want to.
Oh. Yeah,
I don't know.
It's got to be a real serious occasion for me to write in cursive.
I got to be mad at you to do that. You motherfucker. This is what I'm thinking. Cross the T, dot that I.
See, that's how the French do it.
Right.
They start cursing in French, but they say everything else in English.
Mon frère, ça va?
T-Bone says, good, man. I'm really growing more confident in the everybody eats mentality. It's looking good so far, and it's showing signs that it's only getting better from here, except with MVS, apparently.
Yes! Yes!
I mean,
let me stop.
I feel bad for what I'm about to get into now. I mean, there's all this jubilation and
Are we getting into the
yeah. Okay, well let me just say this.
pull your blanket out? He about to piss on it.
You ready, kids? I'm zipping up my zipper. So let me preface everything that I'm saying by saying this. I watched these press conferences hoping that I would see, hear, and feel something different in the communication, because the team itself is in a completely different realm than it's been since 2018, right? And I look for situations like this as kind of, key frames or key points, pivot points in time that lead me in either direction. Either I'm discouraged by what I'm seeing, hearing, and feeling, or I'm encouraged by what I'm seeing, hearing, and feeling. Laura says, Aaron has been mad at the Bills all night. Welcome back to football. Listen, this whole show started at me being pissed off at stuff that the team was doing. So, Lindsay says, Key and Mel going to training camp at St. Fisher's Monday. If so, is there going to be a show Monday?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, training camp's at 9:45. I actually called in. I took a day off from the first job on Monday to get a training camp. I'm going to drag my son, who wants to be a pro football player, a pro basketball player, whichever one doesn't practice. He doesn't want to watch anything on film. He doesn't want to play the game. He just wants to know he wants to play the game.
Right.
I'm like, so you want to play sports, but you don't know anything about it. Well, I'm in the clinic. Dude, they don't teach you how to play defense. You don't – we got a lot of work to do. Anyway, I'm sorry. I digress.
That's
Yes,
the age we're in.
There will be a show on Monday.
Yeah, so there will be a show Monday. So with me watching these press conferences, I took some notes, and I have some. Laura says, "All have fun. I couldn't get tickets." Okay, have fun. Yeah.
Hey, thank you, Mac.
Yeah, really. That's really what it comes down to. Mac has season tickets,
and I didn't watch any.
So
press
we mooch off
conferences,
him,
believe it or
huh?
not. I didn't watch the pressers this week. Believe it or not.
You did? Wow.
I did not. I refrained on purpose.
Really?
I wanted the glee.
I
wanted the glee.
See, that's what it is. You got to enjoy Embedded. You've been watching all the practice updates and all that kind of stuff.
I've been listening to
You
Matt
lived your
Bove,
best
Sal.
life.
I've been listening to Shout.
Oh my God!
I've been trying to figure out what's going on.
Okay, let's
start.
start
because you're going to be telling me something new. Roy, you ready? Let's listen.
Let's start with stop it. Let's start with the Joe Brady interview or the press conference, right? If who's not a film guy? Roy says if he's not a film guy, maybe try pickleball.
Oh, my son, pickleball.
Oh, your son. That's right.
Yeah. Ken is only 7, and he wants to play a sport, but he doesn't want to learn or watch or play any video games that involve that sport.
I mean,
he's 7. That's what they say.
Sounds very similar and familiar to me.
Oh yeah,
yeah. To an experience that I had about
15 years ago.
15 years ago.
Oh.
15 whole years ago. So anyway, so Joe Brady was asked about the possibility of Keon Coleman reaching X receiver status, and I'm paraphrasing all this stuff. I didn't have time to kind of take exact notes. But Joe Brady's answer initially was, well, Laura says, okay, hey, get your point off so we can attack you. I welcome it. That's fine. So anyway, Joe Brady answers this question about Keon Coleman reaching X receiver status in the future with, well, there really are no positions for our receivers, right? And
did somebody say that before?
Not here.
No? Okay.
Not here. So essentially, in the NFL, every receiver nowadays learns all the positions anyway. It's one of the ways, or I should say, it's one of the things that they do in order to equip themselves to make the team more often. You know what I'm saying? If they know all the positions, they can fill in where needed, or they can step in and play during the game if somebody gets injured. It just increases their value. So most players do this anyway. It's not something that needed to be stated as something that was different or unique or very specific to the way that Brady does things, because it's like this across the entire NFL. Right. So what kind of irritated me about that, and what really piqued my interest in thought on that, is what you're essentially doing. And granted, players already do this, but you're putting the players in a position every single play, because one of the other things Brady said is it needs to be a situation where if I ask a player, or he said if I give a player a play and I tell him to play, the first question out of his mouth should be, well, what position am I playing? And he should be able to answer for all positions, right? That's cute and all, but I'd rather have some masters than jacks of all trades.
You know how I feel about that,
right? And I'm not saying that I don't want the receivers to know all the other positions and make themselves valuable. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, can I have some guys that I know I can depend on to play a specific position very well? Because this is really what this is. It's a microcosm of one of the things that's ailed this team for Sean's entire existence here, is they want all these guys to come in and be able to do multiple things and all this stuff, at every position.
I think I ranted about this early in the show's infancy. I think I did rant about that.
Yes, you did. 100%.
You're bringing it back now. You know that, right?
Well, hey, the season
I'm about to start percolating.
Season is starting, so the NFL is cyclical, and so are we. So anyway,
I'm sick, but yeah.
Huh?
I said I am sick, so
no, gosh,
not that kind of sick.
So anyway, so that's.
I'm trying. I can't help it.
Right. You can't. I figured that by now. So this is one of those things where it's a little frustrating that you have a head coach that says he wants the players to master their responsibilities and their knowledge of the defensive scheme, but on offense, it's you gotta know all of them. And
you know what's funny about this?
Who cares if you master any of them?
And this goes into your point perfectly. I just thought about why you were saying people that go to Airshow. What do you usually see? You see the Blue Angels, the Thunderbirds, the Snowbirds. What do they all do? The number 1 is never the number 6. The number 3 is never the number 5. What it is in order for him to stay alive through the whole demonstration, number 6 has to know what number 1 is going to do. But at the same time, number 6 will never be number 1.
Exactly.
And I think that's the part that they're missing. If I had my way, I'd sit these clowns. I'll sit these clowns down and I'd say, let's watch this. Let's bring the Blue Angels in for my coaching in service. Mm-hmm. When I have no players, this is how we're going to run this team. This is the precision I'm looking for. This is the precision that we need to win a Super Bowl. Have the sergeant come in and say, yeah, this is how we talk. This is how we communicate. This is how we plan it out, and how tight it is. That's how Belichick wanted to run his practices.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. People don't like that. It takes a lot of time.
Yep.
It takes a lot of people don't like me. A lot of feelings being hurt, and you have to be a special person to do that. And I don't think we have those people here. As much as I said earlier, I don't mean to cut you off, but I just thought about it. I didn't want to lose it in my old age.
Yeah.
That as much as we talk about how we're having so much fun, with the guys running around chest bumping this and third coaches involved, there's a fine line you got to walk when you do that versus how do you win. Chest bump is not, and that's why I let it off by saying, to make sure you knew I wasn't on a Super Bowl feeling different. But there's a team builder. Then we got to dial it down and we got to start getting to work. This isn't work right now. This is the icebreaker for rookies. This is getting into the facility. Let's learn how Deion Dawkins talks to Cedric Van Pran. That kind of thing.
Yep.
But when it gets to the nitty gritty, I need precision. Because their life is on the line technically every week.
Yeah, exactly.
This ain't basketball.
It's a what have you done for me lately league. Just in general with everything about the league, right? But here's what I think is the biggest thing that gets missed in all this. These players have to spend time studying and learning all these things just for the offensive coordinator, and it's really the head coach, to be satisfied with their level of knowledge about the offense, right? They are literally wasting the most important thing they have in all of their lives, which is time. Why force these receivers to master all the positions when they can learn and know very well all the positions on their own time, which they already do? If every receiver already does it, why are you requiring them to do it in order to make the field? It makes no sense. It's a waste. It's a redundancy within your system is what it is.
I could see, your Z if you're in 12 and your two tight ends are lined up tandem. I could see Kincaid need to know what Knox is going to do, what his tendencies are, how he moves. I can see that because how he does his thing is going to dictate how I do my thing. But if you're Keon Coleman, I don't really care what Khalil's doing way on that side of the field. Unless we're running a crosser, it has nothing to do with me. He runs his route however he's going to run his route, right? And run it precisely, run it the way that Josh needs you to run it, and I'll run my route, and one of us is going to get the ball. That's how I look at it.
Right.
And there are going to be people out there that say, yeah, Keon Coleman was brought on the team because, what do you say? I want to know what the left tackle. You're never playing left tackle.
Right.
The only person you know what the left tackle is doing is the left guard and the quarterback.
Right.
Because they're the ones that's life's on the line with that guy.
Do the swing tackles have to know how to play center? Probably not.
I hope not.
Right. Yeah, we don't know for sure now.
Right.
But yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're good.
Yeah, so it like that was the first thing that just threw me way off, because it's like, what, like this doesn't sound like a process that is going to lead to something better than what we saw last year for the last half of the season.
Yeah. And then the funny thing about that is I put a poll. I don't know if you saw it. I put a poll up and I put it on my Twitter too, right? I said, is status quo enough for you in the AFC East? And the overwhelming majority said yes.
Wow.
Yeah, they said yes. And I didn't expect that. I thought they were going to say, because the other option was, no, I want more. And no, they said, yeah, I'm good with status quo.
Wow.
And that tells me all I need to know. And that's not a bash on, but that tells me exactly like we talked about earlier. That tells me what the demands of the team are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nobody, if you go to Super Bowl, cool. But I don't need it.
Right.
And that tells you what you need to know.
That says everything. That says everything. It says everything. So I thought this was kind of funny, and I'm sure this is something that probably got overlooked. This is a subtle jab that Joe Brady took at Gabe Davis. Now, I can't say with all certainty that he meant it as a jab to Gabe Davis, but when they were talking about Josh's, stepping up into his leadership role and how Josh is talking to the receivers and stuff like that. Again, paraphrasing, Joe Brady is saying, having new guys and understanding that it's about knowing what Josh wants to do and not just running a play. Mm-hmm. As soon as I heard that, I'm like, we talked about that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Very specifically. I forget what game it was, but Gabe Davis ran an option route. Mm-hmm. And he went in instead of going towards the sideline away from the defenders. That's exactly the point right there. Is that and we said this too. Like if he knew what his quarterback was thinking and seeing, instead of just running the play, he would have ran to the outside.
And you know what's even funnier about that? What did I say to people that say Steph Diggs is the reason why Josh is forcing the ball? Remember? And I disproved it by saying who had the most interceptions when thrown to? Gabe Davis.
Yep.
He does what he wants.
Yep. Or he just runs the play.
Right. On top of that, he wasn't fast enough to do what they asked him to do. But,
yeah,
that's neither here nor there. He was just out there. He was just a guy.
Yeah.
And I can say that because Mac's not here to defend him. Yes.
Let's see. Roy says maybe Brady doesn't feel like there isn't any masters in the wide receiver room yet. Laura says, I'm undecided. Sometimes expanding your training, even in areas you don't specialize in, makes you better at your own game. And then she says, I got to hear the interview. Yeah, I mean, again, it's none of what I'm saying is completely unfounded in terms of, interpretation from what Brady said. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If you really think about it, you can get this information from what he's saying. Now, am I saying that this is directly what he's saying? No, but even in an indirect way, what you don't say or what you infer or there's other ways of interpreting what people say or don't say or mean or don't mean. You know what I mean? So I just it's Laura says, I think football. Well, right. And that's what we want. But when your offensive coordinator is saying things like, I'm not really concerned about the outcome of what these guys are doing. We're just trying to make sure that their technique is right. And I would prefer, and again, I'm paraphrasing this, I would prefer for the player to lose doing the right technique than to win doing the wrong technique, because eventually the wrong technique isn't going to work. Well, damn, I mean, if the dude is 14 of 20 with the wrong technique, let the damn man cook.
Then that's, and that hits the spot in my sports career I use one lightly. Like I told you early on, the fadeaway jump shot I had. Money. I could shoot with a fadeaway. What did the coach say? You don't fade away. Percentage went way down. Why are you fixing something that's not broken?
Exactly.
Why is it that it's so important that I'm saying this because, basketball was the sport I really played. And, I'm layups and this, that, and third. I'm 6'6". I'm putting it over the front of the rim. Use the backboard. What kind of horse crap is that? Why would I go around the rim, which I'm already freaking mid-form with, to go around it to go to the backboard when it's working?
Right.
But that shows you the limitations. Now, if it works for him, if he can coach it up, but look at Ryan Fitzpatrick too. Fitzpatrick was a guy that he got his money based on the crap that he used to do.
Right.
The jacked up form he had. Then we had, I forget who came in, but put it on a platter. Throw it up. Remember, raise your plateau. And then it just went downhill. And I told you Fitz was done. No, they tried to fix him.
Right.
You're a 30-year-old dude you're trying to fix. No, you just let it roll.
Right. Just let him friggin' play. It's the Doug Flutie principle.
Yep.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Boy, let that little man run around and do what he do. You know what I'm saying? Let him do what he do.
Right.
But like that's I think that's the essence. I think you hit it. You hit the nail on the head. That's the essence, the heart of what I'm talking about here is we have a team that's just focused on the wrong aspects of the game. Mm-hmm. None of the stuff that they're doing right now is going to result in or directly equal winning immediately. Yep. It sounds very nice, mm-hmm. but in a more realistic look in life, these are things that are going to help them win down the road.
Right.
And it speaks more to what their vision is and what their vision has always been, which is we just want to be viable. We're just here to develop guys, and if they work out, sooner, great. If they don't, they will eventually. And guess what? We're going to be here anyway to see it play out. So what does it matter if it happens this year or 3 years from now?
Right. And
you know what I mean?
That's my biggest issue, what you just said. When you go to USC, you go to Alabama, you go to Notre Dame, you're learning under Nick Saban. You're learning under, we'll say Chip Kelly when he was at Oregon. You're learning under these minds that know how to get guys to the next level. You drafted them. That's like me saying, "Hey, June, I'm gonna hire you to be air traffic control, but you have a welding degree. You're great at this, and I know what you're great at.
Yeah.
But guess what? I'm gonna take you on my team and I'm gonna make you something different, based on your whole portfolio of that got you to the pro level. I'm going to take you and make you a baller clay. That's why they don't go to Alabamas and Texas. That's why they go to Oregon States. That's why they go to Wyoming. That's why they go to UBs and stuff because they got guys that are incomplete, and I can still make them what I need. So when they say, as I quote, I'm going to make my scheme around what the players do. No, you're not. You're going to tell them what they do, then make it around what they do.
Right. Sal, welcome to the show. He says, Brady is a Sean Payton disciple. You haven't seen the real offense yet. This is all fluff. We get a lot of people saying, I don't want to say a lot of people. It's only been like 3 or 4 that say like this is fluff. Is fluff another word for BS? But anyway, to answer this comment, no. The reason I can say what I'm saying is it's not fluff, and it has nothing to do with Brady's discipline. I know he studied under Sean Payton, and I know that's going to play absolutely no role in what he's going to be asked to do here. What it boils down to is I know Sean McDermott, and I know Sean McDermott's reach in this franchise, and I know what he wants to see on the field. So I know for a fact that we're not going to see New Orleans offense, Sean Payton offense, throwing the ball all over the field and big boom plays. Like that's not how Sean wants to win games. Mm-hmm. If that was the case, we would have seen the transformation happen game after game after game last year. But instead, it got more conservative. It got tighter. It got more controlled, which is exactly the way that Sean wanted to play football in the beginning of the season when they were losing with Ken Dorsey. The only difference last year was that Joe Brady's a better play caller.
Well, I was going to say Sal, right? I was going to say for Sal's comment, I was with you 100% until the draft. And that's when we saw they pass on Xavier Legette, Xavier Worthy, the speed guys, and get a possession guy again. He's got amazing hands, Keon Coleman. But everybody has said who's seen him, Sal Capaccio, everybody, he doesn't separate at all. Not even now. His route running is tight. He's getting better.
Yeah.
If you're saying he's getting better, that means he wasn't doing it in the beginning. He was bad.
Right.
So my thing is, I was with you until I saw what they drafted. They didn't build that Ferrari I thought they were going to have, because I said, oh, snap. They had Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow. They had Justin Jefferson. We about to ball out. That ball going to be in it. No, because you didn't do it. You got one wide receiver, a big, not slow, but a big, what do you call it, lumbering guy, I guess you want to call him, and that's it. They got a whole bunch of guys like him, Mac Hollins, Tyrell Shavers, Brian Thomas, Claypool. They got a bunch of guys that are big and not the speedsters that we thought we were going to get when you saw, Joe Brady down in the Bayou.
Right. Let me see. So Bully said, what's going on, Bully? He says, we'll be able to pick on corners and linebackers with mismatches. It's what the Patriots did for years. Yeah, but they also had a guy in Julian Edelman who was an immense route runner underneath. They had Wes Welker before him, and they had Deion Branch before that. All really, really good route runners in the slot. And they had Gronk, who was probably the most dominant offensive player other than Tom Brady in that era, right? So that makes a huge difference when you're talking about that team's ability to execute on offense, whatever they wanted to do. They could put players like Chris Hogan out there because
and that's what they did.
They had Chris Hogan outside, like just chilling and making plays. Why? Because they had Gronk and Edelman on the field. It didn't matter who else they had out wide. Laura says, I don't know, is the old traditional working for us? That's everyone's criticism of McD. He's stale and set in his ways.
That's my problem with him.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be everybody. See, what it really comes down to is this. Just show me the baby. Don't tell me about what Sean has done. Don't tell me about what Sean's going to do. Show me the result. And if the result is the furthest he's been is an AFC championship game in a season where there weren't any fans in the stands except for the playoffs, well, then I'm sorry, I need more than that, right? And every other chance after that he's had to show us that he's a great coach and he can beat the best of the best, he's fallen short by 3 games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So while the regular season looks great and we all have a great time during the regular season winning all these games and making the playoffs, what it really comes down to and what really matters at the end of the day is exactly what we talked about. Was it last episode or 2 episodes ago where we talked about, is Josh Allen, the most talented quarterback, the most complete quarterback in NFL history? Like, we have one of those all-time great quarterbacks. We have a Dan Marino who might not win a Super Bowl because of Sean McDermott, because of his stale ways, because of his rigidness, because of his inability to see where he needs to change and adjust. Like, don't get me wrong. I was the one saying that I was hopeful with the hires of Joe Brady and Bobby Babich, thinking through that process and coming to the conclusion of we might see something different. These are younger guys. These are guys that are going to be better at communicating with the team and all that kind of. But when I'm hearing these press conferences and they're saying all the same things that Sean would say, and then Sean does his press conference and says all the same stuff and more. I'm sorry. I don't see anything different. Matter of fact, no, I'm sorry. Correction. I do see something different because we never heard this kind of stuff from Brian Daboll or Leslie Frazier. Matter of fact, those dudes rarely got interviewed at all. Right?
And I heard Leslie, I was like, that's Leslie Frazier's voice?
Right.
That's what he sounded like.
Right. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's like, yo, like, did it get worse? Right. Because now instead of having two, coordinators who were established and had their own mind and knew how things worked, and one of them has been a head coach longer than Sean has been in the league, like to me, like that's the kind of stuff where it's like, I don't know if I can have the same excitement about, like, yeah, everything's new and it's interesting. I think, and maybe this is where we're getting mixed up. Maybe it's a matter of us confusing excitement with interesting. Mm-hmm. What's going on now is definitely interesting, all the way 100%. I am not taking that away from anybody. But is it exciting? If it's exciting, that means you have to have an alignment with the team and their actions and their direction in order to be excited about. Like, we don't get excited about somebody's plan that sounds crappy. We get excited about people's plans that sounds like, oh, this is good. It might work out, right? Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I can't. That's not me. I think what's happening now is interesting, and I'm going to be glued to the TV. I will watch. Right? And not even because I'm doing this podcast, but because I love the team and I want to see what happens.
Now we do the podcast because we watch them.
Yeah, right, exactly. Literally, this was the only way that we could get through a season with our sanity intact, is being able to, like, just come and vent and all that. But yeah, I think maybe to some degree there might be a confusion of the two. And if you're not confused, then great. You know what you want and you know what you like, and more power to you. But this is where I'm at.
I just saw to piggyback on what you said. I was foolishly looking at my phone while you were talking, and I saw something that said that Joe Brady said that Mac Hollins is going to be a stud for us. Okay, I mean, if Mac Hollins is 25 years old, cool. But I mean, you're going to get what, a year, maybe two out of him. You want to give him another 1-year contract. Why has he got to be the stud? What happened? Why not have Mac Hollins work with Shavers? Do I want to do this? Can I ask you a quick question?
Do it.
What is the love with Justin Shorter? Why is everybody with Justin? Why is he even in the conversation with Hollins, MVS, Coleman, Shakir? Why is it him?
Who?
What is
Hollins?
Shorter.
Justin Shorter. Oh, okay.
What has he in college? What did you see in him? If you watch the highlights or whatever, what did anybody see in him to say, this guy's got to be the one we got to talk about? He was drafted in the 5th round. 5th round. Move on. You got Claypool. You got Thomas. You got KJ Hamler, who was a 1st or 2nd rounder. I mean, hell, I don't even like him, but Andy Isabella. They can offer you more than Shorter has so far. He was bulky. He's not DK Metcalf. He's not fast like DK Metcalf. He's not an athletic freak. Like, he's built like him.
Right.
So why is it that this guy is the one that everybody's talking about?
Roy said Shorter did squat in college.
He did. I think he had like 21 receptions. His season high was like 21 receptions. For what?
And he had Anthony Richardson throwing the ball.
He
should have had way more production.
Way more yards, something.
Yeah.
What? So, I mean, let's see. Was Ricky Pearsall on the team? Maybe not, but if he was a freshman. But the thing is,
I don't think he was playing.
No, I don't think so either. I can't remember. I didn't watch Florida that much that year. But my thing is, why is it that people are putting so much stock in a guy that's done, like Roy said, squat? But that's the way to build. And that takes you back to the question I asked: are you good with status quo? One of the good old boys. He's a name we know. We're rooting for him because he was hurt last year. He's a developmental guy. He's clay. We're molding him. We're developing. Let's see him come along. I don't want to. That's why you got Travis Clayton that's coming in the international portal. Yeah. I want to watch him because I want to see what they can make out of him.
But see, that's the thing, and I think that's why I titled this episode, Where Are Our Superstars Coming From? And I think this is the point here. Steve says when you have low-quality players for so long and are so desperate for a hope of a star, that's why Shorter gets love. Yes, sir. And he says it's sad, and I agree with that. Sir. But here's the thing: when you orchestrate or when you establish a culture on offense where you kind of say there are no superstars, everybody's going to eat. What that says is nobody's going to be above the next person. Mm-hmm. We're not going to have any more Steph Diggs on the team. Right. Everybody's going to eat. that means everybody's great. And then at the same time, that also means nobody's great, right? So here we have a friggin' Ferrari in Dalton Kincaid, who could very well play the Travis Kelce role and be the number one pass catcher on the team, right? But now we have to second guess this. Is he even going to get the opportunities with as good as he is if the motto is everybody's going to eat? And we got a bunch of guys that all know, everybody else's position. And that's what leads me to be like, none of this on offense is going to be, and really defense too, is going to be about superstars. Sean does not want superstars. He wants cuddly, lovey, hug everybody team, cheer for everybody team. He wants camaraderie. He wants a brotherhood and all that kind. Like, just go to freaking college already. Yeah. Just go to college. He would probably be as good, if not maybe slightly better, because he's more new age than Nick Saban as a college coach. You know what I'm saying? The way he runs his program here, it's a great college program, but it doesn't work in the NFL. Right. Just go away at this point. Just go away. God. Oh, man. Roy says Jesus Christ superstar. No, well that's about That's about the only one in the building. Let's see. Bully says Shorter's photo with his shirt off had him looking like DK Metcalf.
Exactly.
That's probably why they got him.
We got our own DK. No, you don't.
Right.
Because you see him put his shirt on and then watch him go catch a ball. Watch him move with the ball and say, it ain't nothing like it. He's lumbering. He doesn't have a breakaway speed. He doesn't have any moves. He's just a physical dude. He's I don't even know if he's a poor man or similar to Keon Coleman. That's him. His ceiling is Keon Coleman. And I'm not gonna poop on Keon Coleman right now. I want somebody that's better than Keon Coleman. Yeah. And I don't even need to see him right now. I know, relatively what his ceiling is. He's never gonna be a Blazer. He's never gonna be that guy that makes you miss an open field, which is fine. But I want one of them. That's like guys that say, oh, we got Von Miller. We need another. It's a symbiotic thing. One guy's got this responsibility. One guy. So when you're talking about Keon Coleman being an X or whatever, he can be. But at the same time, I want somebody on the other side who works with their speed. Yep. So that way, Josh says he has the best of both worlds. And why can't in the interim of the season, why can't Dalton Kincaid get Steph Diggs 10 to 15 targets a game? Yep. First 2, 3, 4 games. Why not? He doesn't have that end the season with 190 targets. Yeah. But same time. What's to say he can't? What's to say Shakir can't?
And they even tried to nudge Brady too in that press conference and talk to him about Curtis Samuel's role and how in Washington he was primarily a possession receiver and trying to get him to talk a little bit more about Curtis Samuel's role. Same thing. Mm-hmm. Same exact sentiment in Brady's answer. It's just more of he's part of the crew and everybody's gonna eat and this and that. It's like it's the rhetoric for me. It's the BS answers of people who are hiding behind the face of we don't have to answer you. Mm-hmm. So we'll just play this game of it's the game of we didn't say no comment. Right. You know what I mean? Because there's something about the words no comment that nowadays make people seem more guilty. Mm-hmm. So instead of going that route, we'll just give you a roundabout answer that you can interpret however you want. But at no point in time did we really answer your question.
Yeah, I think their answers tell you that they have a self-awareness about themselves that they don't know how to identify that breakthrough talent, like you said, where superstars come from. You realize that the years where they couldn't afford to buy them, we don't have them. Yeah. Every time we had one, Mario Williams. Every time we had one, Stephon Diggs, with the exception of a Milano or somebody like that, we bought them. Every time. They never develop. We develop our own guys. Who? Milano.
Right.
Who else?
Right. Well, people will say Deion Dawkins, but
okay. But the thing is, he came in as doing the same exact thing he did from day one. He was a starter.
Right.
And that's what he is.
He was gifted the job.
He
didn't earn it. They kicked out the only guy that could beat him for a job.
He replaced him with himself.
Right. Basically. But yeah. So I mean, there's a comment I saw here I wanted to address really quick. Okay. So Laura says, when Josh trusts you, that's when the magic happens. I don't care. I'm glad they're encouraging brotherhood. When Mitch left, that guy was my worst fear. Josh won't trust the new guy. I get it, and please don't misconstrue what I'm saying. I don't spit on, or I don't, dislike the brotherhood thing, but I think winning does the same exact thing. You know what I mean? If we're winning games together, that's going to develop the camaraderie to begin with. Like, think about it like this. When I go into the military, there's more negative experiences that I'm getting next to the person next to me than positive. Mm-hmm. And the idea behind all of that is to break my sense of self and open me up to being told who I am from the military, right? They're developing within these people a new identity that conforms them to the culture of the military, right? Mm-hmm. And in doing that, next to the person next to them, whom the entire time they're not really focused on unless they're told to focus on them.
Right.
They're still developing a brotherhood. Why? Because they went through the same things together, right? This team is going to bond no matter what. It's naturally what happens within human physiology. When you're around someone enough times, you eventually develop a bond. We've experienced these things together. Now we're connected, right? So that's why I look at this coaching guys into brotherhood as a waste of time. It's going to happen organically if you just focus on winning.
You should.
You know what I mean? Like, just focus on teaching the guys what they need to go out and dominate the guy across from them. What happened?
I think
Hold on, I don't know what's going on with your camera. It's plugged in, it's charging, and it just died.
So plug it into a new plug it into the other outlet over there that light is plugged into, and see what happens. It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I think you hit it on the head in terms of, being around each other, but at the same time, remember what I said earlier when I talked about my basketball experiences. Mm-hmm. Coaches that are not great coaches know how to coach one way, one thing. In this case, it's culture. In this case, it's it's camaraderie with games and stuff like that. That's not how you win when you're talking about playing with different personalities, different walks of life. This guy might not respond to that, and your job as a coach is to tap into each player and even section them off or partner them up with somebody that has a sense of learning, sense of appreciation, sense of whatever. But for them, it's like, no, one size fits all. I need you to be able to do what he did because I know how to make you all do, but I can't work with that skill set. I can't make that skill set do what it's supposed to do. And I think that's the problem with our regime. When you're looking at even the defensive line, why are you rotating? Why'd you draft Greg Rousseau? The big thing about Rousseau that they loved about him so much was this: he can play D tackle. He can play D end. I don't need somebody, like you said. I don't want anybody that plays D tackle. We had Ed Oliver already.
Right.
I don't, unless Greg Rousseau at 245 pounds can play nose tackle. I don't need him on a D tackle line. But for them, I only know how to rotate people. I only know how to, because I don't have a master of anything. I don't want a master of anything because I got to pay a master of anything.
Exactly. That's what it comes down to. It's a money issue.
I mean, and the thing is, like you said, and it's out there. When they offered, was it Brian Burns or Brandon Bean? He said, I can afford that. When he asked, why did you trade the second round for Keon Coleman? Mm-hmm. It was cheaper.
June, just plug in the other camera for now. Instead of trying to work with that one, just plug in the other one and focus that on the one we use for Trammell.
But yeah, so it's like it's cheaper. It's just financials at this point.
Yeah.
And they know we're gonna have to give this guy a big contract. What if his personality clashes? We're gonna have Stephon Diggs again, where he's on the payroll, and we don't have him anymore. We can't afford to go through another purge like we did in 2017, 2024 now. And that's the problem. Are we going to be here for 2031? We got to do it again in 7 years? No.
Yeah.
You got to get it right at some point, because even the status quo people, even people that they're like, I'm good with. I mean, you're regular season winners all the time, and you're going to get sick of it.
Yep.
As much as I hate to say it, you're going to get sick of it.
Steve says, rather have a bunch of stars who win than a brotherhood of guys not elite enough to win. F McDermott, F his process, Tupac hit him up style.
Rich, where you at?
No, wait, listen, Jack, welcome to the show, my man. He says, I think Bean and Sal should run for presidency. This would be a better world.
And they actually might get the vote.
They might. It's wide open right now. Sheesh. Let's see. Lindsay says this offense needs to fall into Brady. Yeah, right. And I think that's what my hope was.
Right.
Right. When we're talking about where Brady came from.
Yeah.
Right. We're talking about, just use the other outlet, Junie. Instead of using that one, because that one might be blown. It's fine. Just use the other one. When we're talking about where Brady came from and who he learned under, like that part is exciting, because it's like, yo, I kind of moved past what we saw at LSU because of the team he had. They were just that damn good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's LSU's thing.
Even some of the stuff that we saw him do in Carolina with a team that shouldn't have really been that productive, to be honest. You know what I mean? But his scheme, who he studied under, that stuff I trust. Mm-hmm. And I think if given the ability to fully flesh out what he wants to do, mm-hmm. it would look good. But I think he's being kind of pigeonholed right now and boxed into this Sean McDermott vision of, we got to be heavy run. We want to be ball control. We want to be, the passing game's got to be under control. We want to limit, turnovers and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's like it's right. And Lindsay says, and out of McD's hands. That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a head coach, you have an offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. You should be doing the coaching thing. You're an overseer. You have the job of making sure that all aspects of football are intact. They all got to be in step. And if you're doing a defensive thing, you're not letting the defensive guy do his job. You don't like how he runs his defense, or you don't trust how he runs it. That's a problem. Right. You should pick somebody else. And I obviously, if you watch this show at any length of time, you know how I feel about Babbage. When they hired him, I was over the moon. I was ecstatic. So I think for me, we just have to let the guys do what they're getting paid to do. What else you have from press conferences, though?
Yeah, so, excuse me.
I'm intrigued.
All right, so, okay, this is kind of interesting to me. And this doesn't need to be like a whole conversation, because this is kind of just ridiculous to me. But
it probably will be, because
from what I've seen, Bean, Sean, and Brady all said, we don't know what we have yet.
They always say that.
Well,
which is ridiculous,
right? But I think in terms of what the media has been asking about, trying to figure out what the team's gonna look like, and it's like they don't ask about what Brady and Sean and Bean think about the team as a whole. They ask about specific positions.
That's
right?
And that's the offensive line comes to mind before.
Yeah, and these guys say, well, we don't know. We're still seeing what we have. We're still finding out what we have. Okay, so it has to be one of two things. Either it's your scouting department is trash, mm-hmm. and you really don't know what you have,
which they are, or
yet again you're handing me a plate of dog-ish and telling me it's steak. Mm-hmm. Like, please. Don't spit in my face and tell me it's raining. Mm-hmm. Like, to me, I have to be able to respect who I'm rooting for. I can't respect somebody who's sitting there and doing, all this stuff to make a show of answering questions, but really, like, don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I think all of this really speaks to, I can't trust you. Mm-hmm. And if I can't trust you, then I damn sure can't root for you. Mm-hmm. And this has nothing to do with the players. Right. It has nothing to do with even the owner. Right? Because I think we know by now, Terry Pegula really doesn't care that much about whether or not the Buffalo Bills are winning.
Yeah, he's like, they won what? They're the division champions. Good enough.
Exactly. Yeah. The division championships are good enough here. right? Your poll said a lot, made the same point basically. But, real quick, Sal says McDermott lost the opener last year with no run. Josh McDermott with no run. Josh, right. Josh wasn't running in that one. He said McDermott drives me nuts. Dayball brought Josh along and let him go. McDermott reversed everything. Sad. Right. Exactly right. Exactly right. But that small point to me was like, again, like what are we doing? Like what is the whole point of even holding these press conferences if you're not going to give us anything?
Right.
It's just a show.
Yeah, I mean, I'm tired of hearing that we don't know what we have yet because you built your team. The only person that I won't. Never mind, because Brady had the majority of the team. I was going to say the only reason I gave him a pass is because it's his first year as a full-time offensive coordinator, and he still got to instill his thing. But see, my thing with McDermott and them, you know what the scheme is. You know what you built them for. Brady was on the staff last year. You know the horses. You were in practice. You saw them. You talked to them in the meetings. You saw them. So you knew that drafting Cedric Van Pran is that missing piece. You knew that Ray Davis, we needed him for this. So to tell me I don't know what we have yet, that doesn't work for me because you're not building a whole new team. This is not a roster reconstruction. This is not this is not McDermott taking his staff and going to Detroit.
Right.
You know your players because you drafted them, you vetted them, and like you said, and please let me be a scout. I want to be a scout.
I know you need to be.
I want to be a scout because
I've been saying that,
dude. You spend how much time flying around this country? You spend how much time in hotel rooms? You spend how much time watching film, reading up on these guys, to not know who these people are? That's crazy to me.
Right. Steve says Bill's got a roster of one generational superstar and a bunch of overachieving great guys who lack the elite skills to win a chip, and a coach that is not good enough to really threaten any great team. And then Laura says, everybody eats.
Everybody eats.
Everybody eats. Let's see. Yeah. So, do you want to get into how we met?
Sure.
I don't think we got into that yet. So if you guys have any questions or any more comments about anything we've said so far, please, put it in the chat and we'll get to it. But I think it's long overdue. Laura, I think, was the one who asked about how we met.
L Boogie
asked us she put it in the comments too.
Yeah,
this was after the show. Yeah.
We tried to hold off for Melly to be here.
I know, but he is in Canada's Wonderland balling right now.
Yeah, he's up there doing his Huxtables thing with the wife and kids and probably sharing candy and ice cream cones, and it's a sunny day over in the Mac household.
Right. Yeah. Roy says how we met, new sitcom this fall. We need Neil Patrick Harris in the building. Yeah, that would be dope. All right, so. Am I starting or you starting?
I mean, it's our. It's a
it really started with Mac. And
that's why it's like he's the central cause.
No, I was there. I was there early on.
I remember walking. Mac invited me over for was it the Cleveland Bills night game, and I remember you were sitting on the couch. Your now wife was on the floor doing homework. I was like, man, who's this nerd? Anyway, she knows that. But anyway, and I remember I sat down and I think you were a Trent Edwards fan. And I was sitting here, I was already laying into the dude. I was like, he sucks, this, that, third, I can't stand him.
I just liked it because he actually completed passes and J.P. Lossman was out of here.
Well, Mel, he liked Lee Evans, so right all the way down the field.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So, like clockwork, Trent Edwards throws, 2 interceptions in the first half? And I'm just sitting there like, this freaking guy. Trent Edwards, this is your quarterback, and I'm just laughing this all up. So they run into the tunnel, and I'm like, yeah, come out. He's still in the game. I said, why they ain't pull this clown? And you're looking at me like, yo, what is your deal with this guy? Right. At this point, you're laughing because what you don't know about A is he likes people that start stuff. He loves people that talk mess. He tries to get T going every time they get together. It's hilarious.
I do love it so much. So near and dear to my heart.
I'm on the couch. I'm on winning. I'm like, all right, we finished the game. I forget the final score. We lost. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to Mighty Taco. And I go to Mighty Taco, and at this time I was listening to the post game, so like brand new. I didn't know who the guys were and all that stuff. But Leotis McKelvin was on there talking. Anybody that knows how Leos McKelvin talks, you know you are in for a treat. This man has a Southern Alabama, and he speaks super fast, and he doesn't finish any of his sentences. So I bring that back to you guys because you guys weren't listening to it. And I was making fun of him. I was imitating him, and you were dying laughing.
I was dying laughing.
You were dying laughing
because I hated that little lisp he had and everything.
Yo,
I couldn't stand
he
it.
He went nuts on there. So we parted ways, and I think you ended up going back to Mac's house, and y'all invited me back over, and we played Madden for hours. Upon hours.
How many hours, Keyshawn, did we play?
Man, I don't even know. It was light outside when I left.
Yeah, right. I think it was about 8 a.m. when you left.
Yeah.
And we started at what? Like
we started the night before, probably
10, 11, somewhere around there. It might have
been earlier.
See, yeah, I think it was earlier. I think it was.
Because Christina was still up. You know, she used to go to bed early because she fall asleep.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so it might have been like between 7 and 8, somewhere around there.
7 and 8.
So about
we
12
left.
hours.
We got there. It was somewhat light. We left. It looked the same outside. So I'm sitting here like, what kind of we just playing mad, just going back mad.
You never experienced anything like that before.
Damn. I went away to college, and I'm like, all right, I can do this. You're like, yo, we going to reconvene later? I said, whoa, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
I was about that life, yo.
Later? Today.
And I meant it, too. I meant, yo, you coming back? You coming back?
Because I gave you my number, and I went home, and I went right to bed. And I laid down, and I woke up to a text message from you like, yo, you coming back? What time you coming back? I'm like, yo, this dude for real. It's so serious. I'm like, okay.
I like friends, Keisha.
And then I get there. We play like two warm-up games. Remember that. Now it's 11 o'clock. He's like, yo, you want to do a fantasy draft? I'm like, yo, this dude about to have us here for a whole nother night. Because you don't just do the draft. No. You got to do the draft and play with the teams. And back then we had 3 people. And at this time,
we still had training camps.
With a lot of drills.
Yep.
You had to do the drill because that was your favorite part. My favorite part was the draft. And Christina would go to bed. She would go, y'all want breakfast? I'm like, yo, we shouldn't be here right now. Mel's going to get unalive when we walk out this door. It's not going to be good. So I think you let me live for about a day. We talked, but you were like, all right,
right.
Be easy. Then you're like, yo, you want to come? This is my spot. Come on over. We'll play the game. I'm like, oh, snap. This is going to be another like 12-hour event. I'm going to die. I got to eat first. I got to eat before I go over there. I got to eat. But we ordered pizza. We sat down. I'll never forget sitting over there on that couch and we were just going at it. We played basketball. Mm-hmm. Played football, Aaron Aflalo, Judy, remember I told you about that? His boy Aaron Aflalo.
Wait, was it you that brought the matter of fact, I think you put me and Mac onto that it was that alternative basketball game because me and Mac we came up on live. We was on the
2K.
Live,
it was,
NBA Live.
It was me and it was 2K and then there was what was it? I forget what it was.
It wasn't 2K. It was the other
2K,
one.
Yeah, because I kept yelling high low. Y'all like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. It was some basketball game that was like obscure. It was dope though. Like that's the thing. The graphics was better than 2K, better than Live. Like it was a really good game, but we sucked at it so bad.
Yeah, we did. We had like who's playing together now? Because I'm not playing. Because they make everything.
Right. We had no choice.
Pass
the ball to Key. That's it.
Man. We were rocking, and then what draft was that? Was that 2009 when we came over your house, and I was so certain. I'm like, yo, it's gonna happen. We gonna get that linebacker this time.
Wait, where was I staying at?
Over on what side?
Oh, on Prospect, the little small joint. Upstairs?
No, Congress.
Oh,
no, yeah, just before that. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. Congress. Yeah. Okay.
So I didn't know what you want to say. I was like, I don't know. I'm just gonna let it be. But
right, I hear you.
I'm like, we gonna play charade over. But yeah, and I remember Matt came in. We had already gotten to the draft. It was already happening. This is a real live draft, and it got good. And the Bills were on the clock. I said, yo, my guy is still there. He's there. With the 11 pick or whatever it was, the Buffalo Bills select Aaron Maven. Man, I almost.
Yo, we were both pissed, but you lost your mind.
Yo, you and Matt were concerned. Y'all were concerned because I was if I'd have been home, I'd have blacked out.
You sat there so quiet, bro.
Dude,
You right. Exactly what you're doing now is what you was doing.
I was ready to go, man. I was ready to go. And then for the 2 picks later, the guy I wanted, a rack pull was going. I'm like, these mother.
Yeah.
They owe me. Oh, you got hell to pay now. They got hell to pay.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'll you know what? I'll give you the story on Matt because he can fill in the blanks. But me and Matt met at Edinburgh. I was a sophomore. He was a freshman, and we were in the computer lab, and down there, like I told you guys before, it was a big Philly. Everybody there was from Philly. Everybody was from Pittsburgh. Nobody from Buffalo. Maybe 2 people that I knew of. And they weren't Bills fans. They knew better than I did not to rep them down there. But I digress. Somebody saw Mac in there. He had full Bills attire like he does now. This is not a show. This is Mac.
Right.
Full Bills, head to toe.
All the time.
And they were like, "Yo, he from Buffalo." And Mac turned around and said, "Yo, you from Buffalo?" He's like, "Yeah." And for whatever reason, he invited me to his room, and he was playing Final Fantasy.
Oh yeah,
Final Fantasy, and I don't play. He's like mixing potions and all this stuff, and I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, he was silent. He was like, I'm just gonna go ahead and put this in. I'm gonna take the wizard. I'm like, and Wayne was asleep over there.
Okay,
because they were roommates, and so we ended up. I said, okay, Mel, come on down. Let me put you on a game. Me and my roommate, we had like 2 PlayStations, we had 2 TV, a surplus of stuff. So when Wayne left, I gave him my PlayStation and my TV.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we had African American Studies class, and the teacher's name I don't know if he's watching, don't care because he was actually pretty cool. Umeme Sababu, that was his name.
Okay,
he looked like Wayne Wonder.
Oh boy,
literally. And the funny thing about this was the year No Letting Go came out, or the year after it, and it was still hot. It was on every radio. So everybody walked there, he's like, "No letting go,
oh
no."
My God.
Every time. So and he knew he was from Erie, and it was funny because they were setting up. We had the Amistad ship at the marina, so they were setting up a field trip from Edinburgh to come up. Edinburgh was outside of Erie, and it was on a weekend. Me and Mo he was like, "Y'all coming?" We're like, "We'll be up there already," because we came home on the weekend. Like, we'll be up there already. I don't think I'm coming though. So we didn't go. But what ended up getting forged with that was obviously a lifelong friendship with both of you guys. Like he's here. But and you guys actually became brothers. You really did. You outside of football, outside of all things that we talk about here, and that's why when we start arguing stuff like that, it doesn't matter because
no, not at all.
This is deeper than that, and for Mac, he always credited me with teaching him how to budget his money and how to stock his stuff, and this.
You still the best one out of all of us.
Man, I'm trying. But I'm proud of what we became. I'm proud of what you are, what he is, and I'm proud of myself too. And producer, I remember I was just telling Ken. I remember when you were 4 or 5.
Yep.
And
I used to go throw him in my room and sit him down with some cartoons or something like that. All right, he good.
I remember the time when Caitlin was playing. What was that game with the little sticks? The ball, their marbles are you had to stack the sticks up to like make a pseudo floor.
Oh,
and you put the marbles in.
Oh man, what is that game called? Man, I don't remember what that game is called.
I remember Judy's like he about to cut the show now. I remember we were playing the game and him and Caitlin were playing that game, and they're pulling the sticks out, and he gets to the thing where the marbles fall through, and he's like, "Yay, I lose!" I'm like, "Wait." No, you don't want to lose. You want to win.
Say that. He did.
You're like, "Yay, I lose!" I'm like, "No, that's not what you want to be."
Yo, and what was funny about it is Caitlin was trying to be so kind. She was like, "Shh, no, you win. You win."
Right.
You win.
I lose. No, you don't.
Like we knew what he meant to say.
Yeah, I was like, whatever, but it's ironic because I was telling Tio, I said, he's texting me now. He's texting me and sending IGs, and
isn't that scary?
It's crazy. Like, one, how old am I?
Right. I keep trying to tell you.
You do. And two, it's like you having a whole conversation with somebody that like literally could barely talk when you met him.
Yeah, you watch this dude walk around in diapers. Now this man got a cell phone sending you feet pics.
Now he pushing the buttons to make the thing go.
That's it.
He's setting cameras up and all this carrying on. I didn't even know we had a little snafu. He fixed this.
He sure did.
Basketball Truth and Knowledge. He fixed early plug. Early plug over there.
So me and Mac, this one, he was a sophomore in high school. I was going into my senior year, and the Junie's mom, we were together at the time, and she was best friends with Christina. Now,
his now wife.
Mac's now wife.
Yeah,
right. So before, I think so. Me and Junie's mom were together for a year at that point, and I had never met Christina. I'd only talked to her a few times in school, but I didn't know her and Junie's mom were close like that.
Right.
So one day, I was at the house, and Junie's mom had came home with Christina. And she called me and kind of told me that she was coming over with Christina and her boyfriend. And I'm very skeptical when I meet people.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like I'm a nice person if you just walk up and start talking to me, but I like if you come off as like being weird immediately, now I'm just super skeptical. Like that's just you know what I mean? Like the businesses that I've worked in for several years have made me that way. It's not my fault.
No, I feel, look where I work. I feel 100%.
Right. So anyway, when I knew this was coming up, it was like it's kind of a little bit of anxiety. You know what I mean? Because it's like, all right, now I got to entertain this dude. What kind of dude is he? Is he all hood? Is he cool? Is he? You know what I mean? So he came through and. We shook hands and at the time I was playing Need for Speed Underground, which was I think the second one of the new Need for Speed series that came out, aside from the ones that were out for like PC and stuff like that. And so like one of the things that I loved to do on Need for Speed Underground was like buy a whole bunch of cars and switch up the paint jobs and make them look all sweet. You know what I mean? Like I just love designing cars for some reason. So I had a bunch of cars, and he was like, oh, that joint raw. I was like, you like that one? You gonna like this one? So he started checking out the cars, and we started racing and stuff like that, and it just like it was one of the most organic friendships that I think I've ever developed in my entire life. You know what I mean? And I don't think I've ever had a friend. I mean, aside from you now, but at the time I never had a friend that close. You know what I'm saying? In a very long time, right? So, man, we bonded over video games, and that turned into everything else. That turned into us living together. That's how I met you, and it was no turning back from there. It was three amigos forever at that point. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of crazy how, like, I used to grow up wishing I had a brother, just a brother, just one. You know what I mean? I had a sister. She passed away when I was 2. She had the sudden infant death syndrome, right? And she was only, I think she was a little bit less than a year old, right? So I mean, I was told about that when I was like 7, 8 years old enough to understand, you know what I mean? But I forgot how I found out about it, and then I asked my mom about it, and then she told me. But even after that, it was like, yo, I just wanted someone like a brother or sister, or whatever, to be close. You know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy how, after years and years of trying to find friends, that like one just pops up out of nowhere like that, and that one turns into 2 forever. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's truly amazing. Amazing story.
Cry, man.
Huh? No, don't do it. Don't do it. Not now. Not now.
Not too strong. I hear you. And the thing about how it happened, because me and Mel, see, y'all think I work a lot. Matt was working like 3 jobs at a time, so we felt.
You know where he got that from? Who? He got that from me. Because I had an apartment. I had an apartment probably about 2, maybe 3 years after we were already friends, and he wanted to come and you know be roommates with us. So I'm like, come on with it. You're like, no brainer there. You know what I'm saying? So so when he moved in, like I was always gone because I was literally working 2 full-time jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like I had one to pay child support and then the other one to, you know, pay bills and stuff. So he never saw me. Right. And I remember him coming with me to go pick up one of my checks from SPS. I was working for a temp agency at the time. It was this candy factory over off of Military through the temp agency. And then I was also working at Target at the same time. But yeah, he came, he was like, yo, he was like, yo, I want to be like you, like, you know, like, cause he saw me like, picking up 2 checks, you know what I mean? It's like,
you like, I mean, the check's cool. What I got to do to get it?
Well, yeah, but again, he saw that, you know what I'm saying? And so that, like, I knew like that was an inspiration for him, you know. But the one thing I really admire about Mac is I was weaker in the sense that I let things get in the way of what I wanted to accomplish. He never did that.
No, interesting story about that, Mac. And I hope Christina sees the flagger. But I remember when I first met him, we were sitting in my dorm, and I told the story at their 10-year anniversary. He sat on my floor, and I never met Christina. I talked to her on the phone, you know, and he was like, yeah, I love her. That's my girl. I'm going to marry her. This is when he's 18.
Yeah.
I'm going to marry her. I said, that'd be nice. No, Key, no. There's no, it's to be nice. He looked me dead in my eye, and Mac is not a big dude. He is not a big dude at all. Looked me dead in my eye. I said, Key, no, it's not, would be nice. I am going to marry this woman or this girl at the time. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to shut up because I don't want to incite a riot with this dude, but we'll see. Man, don't you know it? What year was that? 2009? I'm in his wedding. This is 2003 when he tells me this. So 6 years later, he marries that girl. So like you said, when Max says something, it's probably going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and that's
type of
and I get, I'm telling you, and I always say, Mac, the teacher became the student because you said, I taught you all this stuff. Now I'm learning from you.
Oh, yeah.
And why are we giving him his flowers when he's not here?
Well, that's why
I know, right?
This is not stuff you can say right to the dude.
Oh man, let me look over here. I gotta cover my eyes, you know. But no, seriously, you know, when it came to that, when it came to you being a father, when it came to, you know, all these different things that I learned. Because at the time I had a girlfriend, but I mean, I wasn't trying to be a dad. I wasn't trying to be married. I'm not married now, but you know, I have a girlfriend that I'm very good to. I'm very.
You basically married.
I'll say that. You know, she'll punch me in the chest or whatever. I don't know. But you know, the thing is, without you guys being examples, I probably wouldn't be here right now. You know, this podcast, you knew I always wanted to talk about sports.
Yeah.
I always want to do scouting. I always want to do it. But you're like, you know what? You want to do that thing? I'm like, first time I said it, I was like, man, I'm about to suck. I said, man, I'm about to be terrible. I had anxiety driving in. I'm like, okay. How does this work in the computer? Okay. But, you know, we're doing this thing, and we got Mac, and it's like, it's full circle.
Yeah.
You full circle. You know, y'all got kids. I got kid.
He got me beat, man. He got 4. He got 4 of them bad boys, man.
Yeah, he would tell you that wasn't the plan. That wasn't in the cards, but you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But no, I think you know, you guys, if you understand and see the chemistry we have and the dynamic we have, it doesn't start when we walk in the door. It doesn't end when we walk out of the door. You know, we'll probably be texting tonight. Well, Max, he's in Canada, so he won't be, I don't think. But me and A2, we'll be chopping it up until they go to bed. I'll still be at work like, why me? But they'll be like, I'm hitting the hay, dog. Dang. All right, it's just me now. Just me now.
And it's all love when we say it.
No, right.
All right, dude. Snip, snip. Here we go.
Snip. See it?
Going to bed.
I'm out of here. But yeah, I mean, it's if you guys can understand and really see the dynamic we have, you'd be like, yo, something wrong with them.
Oh, Silas, you can't be jumping in here at 8:28 saying this.
What do you say?
Yeah, just because your show started at 9 don't mean you got to come get us started going to 9.
He's going to 9?
He said, what are y'all talking about? No superstars. Hamlin, Killer Cam Lewis, David Edwards.
Bye,
I know.
Silas.
Don't engage.
Bye, Silas.
Don't engage. We gotta go.
Right. Bye, Silas. On that note.
For those of y'all that don't know, Silas is one of our fellow how do we say it? Network mates, right? I went on his show, man. I think 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Great show, by the way, Coast to Coast podcast. I think it's Wednesdays 9 to 10. For up under the Do Champions media group, media network, and great dude. I had a ball on the show, but he likes to poke the bear from time to time. So
I'm mad he said Cam Lewis. You know better.
Yeah.
Cam Lewis is not on
when he
either
started
list.
with Hamlin, it was like, all right, I know he.
Well, Cam Lewis is not on either list. He's not a star, and he ain't trash. So let's leave his name out your motherfucking mouth. Cam Lewis is all right with me.
See, that's all he lives for, and sadly he gets it from me.
I know,
because I like poking people like that. It's just fun. Just irritate him a little bit, get him bubbling up.
We gonna see.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Let's wrap this thing up. So I can help y'all out.
Kevin says Silas got to lay off that yak.
Wait, Silas, you like yak? Okay, we'll talk later.
We'll talk, right. There you go.
We'll talk later.
I knew that would get you. I knew that. You like that brown stuff, man.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah. Laura says, I'm excited about the Bills' innovative thinking. I understand your concerns, and they are not wrong. Thank you, Laura. Appreciate that.
Now, had I said that,
I wouldn't have heard it at all.
She wouldn't have said that. She would have, you're overreacting. Chill out. Like,
well, because I'm the emotional one out of the three of us. Right? You can't say this stuff. I can get away with all of it. All right. We got to get you out of here. I actually have to go get a propane tank and
you getting cracking tomorrow too.
Season my Blackstone griddle because we got a birthday party tomorrow.
What you throwing on there? Huh? What you throwing on there?
I got a big old rack of ribs that I think I might break out tomorrow, but we're gonna do burgers, dogs, all the usuals.
Nice.
Tobonius Lex says, I feel where y'all coming from, even though I like the mismatched capabilities of everyone learning all the positions, but not being able to afford a true master at wide receiver might bite us in the end.
Yep.
Laura said, key fired. Goodbye. Yeah, bro, it's 8:31. Right. All right. I think I got this set to the right volume.
If you don't, it's okay. Eardrums don't mean anything.
Right. Eardrums never mean anything.
Just
not to Keyshawn, not to me, not anybody. Anyway, listen, if you have not done this already, what are you waiting for? Like, subscribe, hit that bell, make that thing.
Ring-a-ling-a-ling.
So that you can get notifications when we send notifications, because it all matters. It's all important, especially when you are part of the Post Podium Podcast family, right? But past all that, the Post Podium Podcast is now part of the Do Champions media family, okay? So if you haven't done this yet, the link is in the description right now. You can go to the link in the description, click that bad boy, head on over to our network, give those guys a subscribe, hit that bell so that you can know every single time our show is on and every time there's good Bills content coming your way, okay? Other than that, social media links are in the description as well. Hit us up. Again, anybody who wants to be in our Triple P pot, what is it? The Triple P Fantasy League.
Yes.
Triple P Fantasy League. Hit me up on Twitter. Hit me up on any of our social media. Direct message me. Send me your email. I will send you the invite. I'll have to do some switching around to remove the keeper status so that we can just we'll have to do another draft if we're going to be adding people. But that's fine. I'm totally with all that. And listen, OLI is getting his money worth today, because without that fantasy news, we probably win and not him. Anyway, that's it as far. No, it's free. It's free.
Yeah, we don't do anything for money.
I don't like bet.
No.
Look, Mac is the betting man.
Yeah,
that's the dude that might charge you $50 for a league. I'm not that way.
He's not the commish. Hey, we good.
Right.
I wouldn't be in it if we had to pay for it.
Yeah, it's completely free. Sorry if I didn't mention that already. The league is completely free. So if you just want to get in, have some fun, and stay connected, definitely hit us up. Listen, Basketball Truth and Knowledge. Our producer, my oldest son, Junie, he's got his own podcast. If you haven't checked that out already, you need to get on that, okay? Because he ain't doing nothing but growing and growing and growing, right? Literally and figuratively, growing and growing and growing. So anyway, maybe few push-ups here and there might help. All right. Anyway, we got to get out of here. This has been the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I've been your co-host, Aramis.
And this is For the Keys.
And we out of here. Y'all have a great night.
See y'all later.